Chapter 1901. Please give a lecture on runes for the Rune Masters. The Rune Saint Venerable had just taken 2 steps when he suddenly stopped again. Because he saw little gold. Before, his attention was focused on Lin Mo and the rune array, and he did not notice little gold. Moreover, little gold was behind the rune array, and was integrated with the array, so it was not easy to be discovered. Until now, he finally saw little gold. The Rune Saint Venerable seemed a little excited. This is an array spirit. When the array has an array spirit, then the nature of the array is different. The array spirit can independently manipulate the array, or assist the master to manipulate the array together. Having a powerful array spirit is also the dream of many array masters and rune masters. It is difficult to produce an array spirit. The array needs to be extremely perfect, then it is possible to produce an array spirit. And also depends on luck. The luck component accounts for at least more than half. The Rune Saint Venerable could not help but sigh. His rune array actually produced an array spirit. This luck surpassed most of the 743 people. Lin Mo was currently letting little gold send the new golden armor charms one by one into the body of the skeleton god general. Although the array had been successful, it still needed to verify the stability. Lin Mo had calculated in his heart that as long as 1000 runes did not have problems, then there would be no problems in the future. The Rune Saint Venerable came to Lin Mo's side, standing shoulder to shoulder with Lin Mo. This rune array, did you think of it yourself? Lin Mo nodded. Thanks to you for giving me rune language. I studied the runes inside, and then combined the information I saw in the Rune Masters Association to build this rune array. Speaking, Lin Mo took out rune language, preparing to return it to the Rune Saint Venerable. Rune language was useless to him. All the runes inside had been mastered. The Rune Saint Venerable declined. No need to return it to me. If you find a suitable candidate, pass it on. Lin Mo was not polite, and directly put it away. He knew that the Rune Saint Venerable must have a copy of rune language, and the Shu family was not short of inheritance. Moreover, the Human Emperor Network also recorded all the contents of rune language, so the human race would not cut off the inheritance. The Rune Saint Venerable admired the rune array arranged by Lin Mo. 3-layer structure, clear division of labor, it's really a work of art. Lin Mo said with a trace of helplessness, no way, who makes me have so many subordinates? If I can't manufacture fully automatically, I can't finish drawing even if I draw to death. Symbol Saint Venerable asked, what is the effect of your rune? Lin Mo you willed it, and a newly made golden armor talisman flew over. Symbol Saint Venerable immediately examined it. With his insight, he could naturally see the essence of this rune. The golden armor talisman wasn't a profound rune, it was far inferior to ancient runes. However, Symbol Saint Venerable still watched with great interest. What he truly valued wasn't the golden armor talisman itself, but Lin Mo Yu's ingenious technique. Symbol Saint Venerable whispered, if I'm not mistaken, the defensive power of this rune has reached the peak of godly venerable. Lin Mo Yu hummed in agreement, you're right, it has indeed reached the peak of godly venerable. Symbol Saint Venerable's eyes flickered slightly. If the human army could mass-produce this talisman. If the entire human army could use the new golden armor talisman, their attack power might not change, but their defensive power would definitely make the enemy utterly despair. Facing a team that could completely abandon defense and attack with all their might, anyone would be terrified. Such an army would be insane, incredibly terrifying. Lin Mo Yu thought for a moment, actually, mass equipping them isn't impossible. After all, there are many human talisman masters. If they work together to draw these runes and turn them into talisman tokens, it could be done. Symbol Saint Venerable shook his head, that's not what I meant. I meant mass production like you, fully automated. Lin Mo Yu immediately dismissed Symbol Saint Venerable's idea, it can't be done. Symbol Saint Venerable's eyes showed doubt, as if asking why it couldn't be done. Lin Mo Yu gave the answer, to achieve fully automated rune fusion and ensure its success, the vibration frequency of the rune array needs to be finely adjusted to keep it consistent. The difficulty of this adjustment is much greater than what you felt with the soul vibration before, probably 100 times greater. Moreover, after the rune arrays have been running for a while, their vibrations will change, requiring further adjustments. If even one rune isn't adjusted properly and a discrepancy occurs, the failure of fusion is a small matter, it might destroy the entire rune array. And most importantly, the runes created with it are disposable after being made into talisman tokens. Unlike my summons, where the runes are integrated into the soul and can exist permanently. Symbol Saint Venerable pondered Lin Moyu's words. In fact, Lin Moyu was right. Lin Moyu's summons were unique. The runes were directly integrated into the soul and could be nurtured by the soul fire, existing forever. Humans couldn't absorb runes into their souls. They were all disposable, so their effect wasn't as great as imagined. Moreover, even Symbol Saint Venerable wasn't confident in creating these rune arrays, given how difficult they were to make. Lin Moyu said, I will hand over the method of creating rune arrays and the method of training soul sensitivity to the Human Emperor Network, hoping that more talisman masters can see it. Symbol Saint Venerable pondered for a moment, can you lecture on the Tao? Lin Moyu exclaimed, me lecture on the Tao? Don't joke with me, old man. I'm only at the first level of Godly Venerable. How am I qualified to lecture on the Tao? Symbol Saint Venerable said, not lecturing to others, but lecturing to us talisman masters. Just talk about how to train soul sensitivity, and you'd better refine some magical treasures and props needed to train soul sensitivity. I will have the most outstanding human refiners cooperate with you. As long as you can refine them, they can replicate them. I will also have the Human Emperor Network pay attention to those with sensitive souls and have them cultivate runes. You just lecture on the Tao, leave the rest to us. Symbol Saint Venerable spoke at length, mostly for the sake of the human race and its inheritance. Lin Moyu had no reason to refuse. All right then, I'll lecture on the Tao after I've set up the arrays. After Symbol Saint Venerable finished speaking, he left the cultivation room, not even doing soul sensitivity training. Soul enhancement wasn't something that could be achieved in a day, so he wasn't in a hurry. He would have plenty of time for training and enhancement in the future. After Symbol Saint Venerable left, Lin Moyu also began to set up the rune arrays specifically. The first rune array was tested, and 1.2 had no problems. Little Jin controlled the rune array with ease, and the world tree could constantly fine-tune the rune array. So, Lin Moyu transferred the rune array and Little Jin back to the soul world, officially setting up the rune array in the soul world. In his plan, the number of rune arrays would be greatly increased this time. Previously, it was 10 by 10, a total of 100 rune arrays. But at that time, the total number of the Undead Legion was only a little over 100 million. Unlike now, where it exceeded 600 million when added together. If he continued to use only 100 rune arrays, the time spent would increase sixfold. Lin Moyu arranged them into 20 by 20, a total of 400 rune arrays. The number was 4 times higher than before. The only question was whether Little Jin, as the array spirit, could manage it. The little guy assured him that he was fine, but everything was unknown. Chapter 1902, another unprecedented feat. In the central shrine of Divine City, Heavenly Saint Venerable, Grand Saint Venerable, and War Saint Venerable were discussing matters. War Saint Venerable said, all the other Shore Realm experts and godly venerables in my War God Hall, except for those who are out, have been checked, and no problems have been found. Hearing this news, Grand Saint Venerable and Heavenly Saint Venerable simultaneously breathed a sigh of relief. Heavenly Saint Venerable said, this is the best news we've received recently. Grand Saint Venerable also echoed, it's indeed good news that the War God Hall hasn't been affected. War Saint Venerable raised an eyebrow, is the situation in Divine City not good? Heavenly Saint Venerable nodded, the advanced areas are fine, but the situation in the intermediate areas is not optimistic. The Human Emperor Network is still compiling the specific data. War Saint Venerable gritted his teeth and whispered, the infiltration of the spirit-devouring race is so strong. Heavenly Saint Venerable hummed in agreement, after 10,000 years of hibernation, these guys have obviously learned from their previous lessons, turning from overt to covert, preparing to pull off something big. A bunch of shady fellows, War Saint Venerable couldn't help but curse. Grand Saint Venerable seemed much more relaxed than them, think of the good side. Even our human race has been infiltrated so severely. The situation of other races is probably even worse. It would be fun if a Saint Venerable was infiltrated by the spirit-devouring race. Just like future Buddha in the 26 Buddha race, it could be said that more than half of the entire Buddha race was already controlled by the spirit-devouring race. One could imagine how many spirit-devouring race members there were in the Buddha race with future Buddha sitting there. Although everyone knew that it was difficult to control a Saint Venerable, it wasn't impossible. The spirit-devouring race's soul-snatching wasn't done after becoming a Saint Venerable, they might have snatched a genius long ago and then cultivated all the way up. Such things were hard to guard against. Even the human race with the human emperor network couldn't guard against them, let alone other races. The central shrine's gate opened, and Symbol Saint Venerable flew in. Heavenly Saint Venerable's eyes flashed. Symbol Saint Venerable, have you gained something? Symbol Saint Venerable came forward. I have indeed gained something. Little friend Lin's talent in runes is unprecedented. Symbol Saint Venerable's words raised Lin Moyu to an unprecedented height. These words also admitted from the side that he, a dignified Saint Venerable who entered the Tao through symbols, was not as talented as Lin Moyu in the Tao of runes. Symbol Saint Venerable didn't feel ashamed at all. He pointed a finger and projected a picture. In the picture, 20 soul light clusters appeared. Symbol Saint Venerable clicked his fingers several times, and the human emperor network interfered with reality. The projection instantly expanded, and 20 soul light clusters appeared in front of the few as if they were tangible. Symbol Saint Venerable said, "These are soul light clusters that I copied with the human emperor network. See if you can see any differences." The 20 soul light clusters looked exactly the same at first glance, with no differences at all. The several Saint Venerables frowned as they watched, and they didn't see any differences. War Saint Venerable and Heavenly Saint Venerable simultaneously shook their heads. There's no difference. Grand Saint Venerable seemed to see some clues. These soul clusters seem to be a bit more active. Symbol Saint Venerable pointed to the leftmost soul light cluster. Taking this as the base, each subsequent soul light cluster has its vibration frequency increased by 1% compared to the previous one. The soul light clusters themselves weren't strong, and could even be said to be very weak. Increasing by 1% on a weak basis was indeed difficult to perceive. The fact that Grand Saint Venerable could feel a little already proved that his soul was also quite sensitive. Symbol Saint Venerable immediately explained the method of perfect rune fusion, and the several Saint Venerables were stunned. Heavenly Saint Venerable sighed. A problem that has been searched for more than 10,000 years and could not be solved by the power of the entire race has actually been discovered by little friend Lin. Grand Saint Venerable also couldn't help but sigh. Little friend Lin is indeed a peerless genius, incomparable to ordinary people. War Saint Venerable's eyes flickered. According to what little friend Lin said, soul sensitivity can be improved through acquired training. Does this mean that others can also achieve perfect rune fusion? Symbol Saint Venerable said, "There is indeed a chance, but we can't say it's 100% certain. After all, everyone's improvement has a limit." War Saint Venerable said, "It doesn't matter, we have many symbol masters, there will always be some with excellent qualifications." Symbol Saint Venerable did not refute, but he did not agree either. He had personally tried the training, and it was effective, but it also depended on talent. According to his estimation, there probably wouldn't be anyone who could reach Lin Mo's level. Not to mention reaching it, even getting close would be remarkable. However, what War Saint Venerable said was not wrong. The number of human race symbol masters is large, and miracles might really happen. Symbol Saint Venerable pointed again, and the projection screen suddenly changed. A symbol array appeared in the picture. Symbol Saint Venerable said, "In addition to rune fusion, there is actually something more important." Little friend Lin created a magical symbol array. Symbol Saint Venerable explained Lin Mo's use of array to create symbols and array to fuse symbols, and also synchronize the projection of the human emperor network. Seeing the runes perfectly fused under the control of the array, the Saint Venerables all widened their eyes and marveled. They couldn't hide the shock in their hearts, and praised him repeatedly. Even the Symbol Saint Venerable, who had personally experienced it, still felt shocked when watching it again. How Saint Venerable sighed for a long time. "I knew that little friend Lin had achieved array-based symbol creation, but I didn't expect him to be able to fuse symbols with array. It's truly a miracle." Heaven Saint Venerable praised. Little friend Lin has once again pioneered history, an unprecedented event. War Saint Venerable had different ideas. "I wonder if this method can be spread. This method is very useful to my war god temple." Heaven Saint Venerable said, "It's not just useful to the war god temple, it's useful to the entire human race." They all looked at Symbol Saint Venerable, who said, "I have already asked little friend Lin to give a lecture, and I will let our symbol masters go to listen at that time. Runes are symbol arrays, these all require comprehension, they can't be taught just because you want to teach them, or learned just because you want to learn them." Everyone naturally understood this principle. The Saint Venerables were very happy that Lin Mo had agreed to give a lecture. Heaven Saint Venerable thought for a while, "Let Symbol Saint Venerable handle this matter." Symbol Saint Venerable hummed, I have already thought about it. The location of the lecture will be on the Symbol Master Square 280 in Divine City. At that time, all the high-level Symbol Masters in the race will come to Divine City to listen to the lecture. As for the middle and low-level Symbol Masters, let them watch it on the Human Emperor Network. All the high-level Symbol Masters in the race mentioned by Symbol Saint Venerable included the Symbol Master Association members, the high-level Symbol Masters in the War God Temple, and the high-level Symbol Masters in the military. These numbers were already quite large, and if the middle and low-level Symbol Masters were added, the number would be astonishing. The group discussed the matter for a while, quickly finalized the details, and then Symbol Saint Venerable went down to make arrangements. Soon, all the Symbol Masters in the human race received a message to attend a lecture. This lecture was not voluntary, but all Symbol Masters had to participate. No matter where you are, as long as there is a human emperor, you must attend the lecture. All high-level Symbol Masters were required to return to the Divine City Star Territory. The Divine City Star Territory opened a special passage to receive high-level Symbol Masters. The human race was busy again. In addition to investigating the soul-devouring race, the Symbol Masters had another major event. In the training room, Lin Mo was sitting cross-legged on the ground, his whole body exuding a moderate and peaceful aura, as if he were asleep. In his soul world, he was fully modifying the golden armor symbol array. Compared to the first modification, his movements had become extremely skilled, and the modification speed was getting faster and faster. One symbol array after another was modified and handed over to Little Gold for control. After spending a full 50 days, Lin Mo completed the modification of 100 symbol arrays, 10 horizontal and 10 vertical. After confirming that Little Gold still had spare capacity, he turned around and began to create new symbol arrays. Chapter 1903, Saint Venerable Association President is going to lecture. Time passed day by day, and the golden armor symbol array in the soul world was also increasing day by day. The symbol arrays were increasing at a rate of 2 per day, and the scale of the symbol array formation was rapidly increasing. The world tree dropped a large number of branches, completed the connection with the symbol arrays, provided infinite soul power for the symbol arrays, and controlled the vibration frequency of the soul. Lin Mo's soul was very sensitive, and he could control every subtle change. As Lin Mo's talent, the world tree also had a strong ability to control soul power. Under its control, the array operated very smoothly, without any difficulty. As the number of arrays increased, the matter that Lin Mo was worried about, that Little Gold would not be able to control them, did not happen. Moreover, as the number of arrays increased, Little Gold's power and spirituality were also increasing. When the number of arrays reached 200, Little Gold was shining with golden light, it seemed to have grown a circle, and its aura had become even stronger. Little Gold exclaimed excitedly, Master, my power has become stronger. Without it saying, Lin Mo also felt its change. It was a good thing that its power became stronger. The stronger the power, the more arrays it could control. As Little Gold became stronger, Lin Mo's last trace of worry was also erased. Lin Mo's movements became more comfortable, and brand new runes flew out, forming symbol arrays in the soul world. In the process of arranging the arrays, Lin Mo was also learning and comprehending. Symbol arrays in rune fusion are known as the 2 avenues of runes. Most people choose one to follow, and few can advance side by side. Even the symbol Saint Venerable, although he has gone far on both avenues, still has strengths and weaknesses. But Lin Mo has seen the end of the avenue, so he is very clear that if he wants to reach the end, he must advance on both paths side by side. Only when both paths reach the end and merge into one can he truly reach the end of the path of runes and touch the final avenue. This is the special nature of the path of runes, which is different from the path of laws. As long as one cultivates the path of laws to the limit, there is a chance to touch the final avenue. It is also known as different paths leading to the same goal. However, Lin Mo is also walking the path of laws and the path of runes together, cultivating multiple paths together, wanting to reach the end together. The difficulty is very high, but if he can succeed, the road ahead will become wider. Arranging arrays again and again, constantly drawing runes, constantly fusing runes. The insights gained from observing the runes of the great world have all been transformed into the techniques and methods he has mastered. If I use the fused runes to arrange a symbol array, will it make the resulting runes even more powerful? A diaresis. I can try it when I have the opportunity in the future. But I have to try out the fused runes suitable for arranging arrays first. Lin Mo still had the spare capacity to think about problems when arranging arrays. His sudden whim was not without basis. Ancient runes are composed of a large number of fused runes, and these fused runes are extremely complex, all fusing a large number of runes. The entire ancient rune can be regarded as a symbol array composed of a large number of fused runes. So when it is broken up, the individual runes can still function and exist independently. The ancient runes gave Lin Mo good guidance, which is equivalent to pointing out the direction for Lin Mo, letting Lin Mo know what he should do. In the Divine City Star territory, a large number of high-level symbol masters were ready, waiting for the lecture to begin. Recently, the high-level symbol masters who were traveling outside have also returned. The specific time of the lecture has not been set, but the notice from the Human Emperor Network has been issued, and they can only wait. Because the person who issued the notice was Symbol Saint Venerable, he is the current president of the Symbol Master Association and the leader of all symbol masters. No one dares not listen to their orders. Some symbol masters are discussing in private what this lecture will be about. I think it should be that the association president has new insights and wants to tell us. The association president has not come out of the mountain for many years. It has been 1,000 years since the association president's last lecture, right? It's been 1266 years. When the association president gave the last lecture, I was only a 5th order symbol master, and now I am already an 8th order. Your cultivation speed is really fast. You've cultivated from a 5th order talisman master to an 8th order talisman master so quickly. What am I? You haven't seen Talisman Master Lin's cultivation speed. Talisman Master Lin, is that Lin Mo Yu? I heard his reputation has been growing in recent years. You must have been in seclusion these past few years. That Talisman Master had indeed been in seclusion these past few days, not hearing anything from the outside world, so he wasn't clear about Lin Mo Yu's deeds. Immediately, someone told him about Lin Mo Yu's deeds, leaving everyone listening in a daze. Just as they were discussing, they suddenly received a message from the Human Emperor Network. The lecture will be held in 10 days. Everyone, please prepare. High-level talisman masters should go to the Talisman Master Square in Divine City in the coming days. A special teleportation array has been opened. Mid and low-level talisman masters should enter the Human Emperor Network to listen to the lecture on the day of the lecture. All talisman masters, please make a great world oath. The oath is as follows. The Human Emperor Network's notification surprised all the talisman masters. My goodness, this lecture is actually being held in the Talisman Master Square in Divine City. That is the holy land of talisman masters. Ordinary talisman masters are not qualified to go there at all. Only high-level talisman masters are qualified to go there. The standard of this lecture is so high. The president's lecture is indeed extraordinary. Listen carefully, and there will definitely be great gains. But why do we have to make a great world oath? How strange. There's nothing strange about it. Anyway, we'll do whatever the president says. It definitely won't be wrong. One talisman master after another made the Great World Oath. Not only the Great World Oath, but also someone would deliver the truth verification pill. The content of Lin Mo Yu's lecture must not be leaked. Under the control of the Human Emperor Network, the human race has minimized the risks. The door of the cultivation room slowly opened, and Lin Mo Yu walked out, feeling the light and heat brought by the 4 stars. After nearly 300 days, he finally completed the arrangement of the new Golden Armor Talisman Array. The Golden Armor Talisman Array, with 20 rows and 20 columns, shone brightly in the soul world. The array spirit, Xiao Jin, named seemed to have obtained a beloved toy and happily manipulated these arrays. Under Xiao Jin's manipulation, coupled with the cooperation of the World Tree, the entire array ran very smoothly. Every 10 seconds, a batch of new golden armor talismans would be created and then integrated into the skeleton god general's soul. Each batch of golden armor talismans numbered 400, 2,400 per minute, and 3,456,000 could be manufactured in a day. It would only take 145 days to cover all the skeleton god generals. At that time, the defense of the skeleton god generals will be able to withstand a full blow from a peak god. The great increase in defensive power means a substantial increase in combat power. However, Lin Mo Yu put in so much effort, and increasing the combat power of the Undead Legion was only one of his purposes. The real purpose was still for the path of talisman. He wanted to turn what he had learned and understood into reality, verify it, and thus fully master it. Only in this way can he go further and further. The current golden armor talisman is not the final result. In the future, as his talisman path becomes stronger and stronger, the golden armor talisman will continue to become stronger. It is not a dream to be able to withstand attacks from the other shore realm or the Saint Venerable realm. At that time, the Undead Legion will be truly invincible, making all races tremble. Chapter 1904, Preparations, Master Refiner. After Lin Moyu left the cultivation room, he sent a message to Talisman Saint Venerable, and the two confirmed the lecture time. With the lecture in 10 days, Lin Moyu also needed to make some preparations. He took Lin Moyu to the refining area of Divine City. As Talisman Saint Venerable said before, he had found the best refiner in the entire human race. From afar, Lin Moyu saw a vigorous old man. He was wearing a red close-fitting suit, and the exposed skin also showed a red color, making the whole person look like a ball of flame. Just by getting close, Lin Moyu clearly felt the temperature rising, as if he was approaching a ball of flame. The old man's aura was thick, and Lin Moyu recognized at a glance that this was a beyond realm powerhouse. Talisman Saint Venerable introduced, "This is Elder Yan, named the strongest refiner in the clan." Lin Moyu immediately saluted Elder Yan. "Junior has met Elder Yan." Elder Yan's voice, like his person, was very thick, like muffled thunder. "Little friend Lin, you don't need to be so polite. Although you haven't met this old man has seen little friend Lin many times. Little friend Lin's talent really makes this old man envious." Lin Moyu said modestly, "Elder Yan is too kind. There is still much for the younger generation to learn." Elder Yan's character was straightforward. "Let's start. Talisman Saint Venerable, if you need this old man to do anything, just tell me." Talisman Saint Venerable nodded. "Let's go to the refining room. Little friend Lin will tell you the specific requirements." The three of them entered the refining room together. Flames were rising in the refining room, and there was a complete set of refining tools. With Elder Yan's realm, he actually no longer needed these tools for assistance. He himself was the best refining tool. Elder Yan said generously, "Little friend Lin, if you have any requirements, just ask." Lin Moyu said, "I want to refine a magic weapon that can simultaneously accommodate soul power and runes. The runes in the magic weapon need to be associated with the soul spirit." Elder Yan listened to Lin Moyu's request and pondered for a few seconds. "How strong soul power do you want to accommodate?" Lin Moyu thought for a while, spread out his palm, and a ball of soul power emerged. "This is enough." The soul power on his palm was very weak, at most at the true god level. Elder Yan glanced at it. "This is not difficult. Are there any other requirements?" Lin Moyu thought for a while. "The soul power contained in it needs to be clearly felt by people, without any hindrance or influence." Elder Yan fell into deep thought again, muttering to himself, "Without any hindrance or influence. This is the most difficult part. It is not difficult to accommodate soul power, but once any magic weapon accommodates soul power, it will bind the soul power and cause some influence." Elder Yan thought before that Lin Moyu's little request did not require him to do it himself. Now it seems that it is indeed not something that ordinary refiners can do. Ordinary methods are definitely not possible. He thought a lot and finally came up with a solution. "Does it need to be moved?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "It doesn't need to be moved. It only needs to be fixed in one place." Elder Yan said, "Then I can use an array to restrain the soul power, so that it will not affect the soul power. But doing so, I don't know if it will affect the runes." Lin Moyu said, "We can try it. It doesn't matter if we fail a few times." Elder Yan nodded. "Then let's try it first. I'll refine it first." As he said that, he took out a piece of white jade, and then a ball of flame spewed out from his palm. The flame quickly changed from red to deep blue, the temperature rose sharply, and the white jade began to melt. But strangely, Lin Moyu and Talisman Saint Venerable did not feel the temperature increase. All the fire was controlled within a very small range, which also showed Elder Yan's extremely strong control over the flame. The white jade melted into a liquid, and Elder Yan asked, "Little friend Lin, what kind of shape do you like?" Lin Moyu said, "No particular requirement. Elder Yan can decide." "Haha, I like you like this. What's the use of being good-looking? Practicality is the most important." Elder Yan laughed loudly, and with a move of his will, the white jade liquid immediately began to change according to his wishes. The white jade liquid quickly turned into a disc shape, which looked somewhat similar to an array plate. The flame temperature gradually decreased, and the white jade liquid began to solidify again. Before it was completely solidified, Elder Yan began to carve the array. There are many types of arrays, which can be talisman arrays composed of runes, arrays arranged by array masters using various materials, or arrays directly engraved in magic weapons by refiners. The study of formations is profound, complex, and vast. Lin Moyu only understands rune formations. Meng Anwen in the small world primarily focused on rune formations. However, he also understands ordinary formations, just not as well as rune formations. Lin Moyu once thought that if Meng Anwen could come to the great world, he would surely become an extremely outstanding rune master. Moreover, in rune formations, Meng Anwen's aptitude surpasses most rune masters in the great world. His mind was filled with thoughts, but his eyes were fixed on Elder Yan carving the formation. Formations share common principles, and Lin Moyu could roughly understand the purpose of this formation. The formation was very simple, its only function being to restrain. However, the power of restraint was not strong and could be easily broken. The formation was simple and weak, but its advantage was obvious, its aura was very faint, almost undetectable. This could achieve what Lin Moyu had said, being unaffected. Once the formation was completed, the flame further weakened until the white jade liquid completely solidified, turning into a pure white jade plate. The jade plate faintly revealed beautiful patterns. "It's done," Elder Yan said softly, then handed the white jade plate to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu sensed the aura of the white jade plate and delved into it with his soul, discovering that it was just a true God realm magic treasure. The aura of the magic treasure was very weak, and it could only accommodate soul power of the true God realm. A Beyond the Shores realm artifact refining master, using excellent materials, had only refined a true God realm magic treasure. Elder Yan was naturally not just a name, this further proved that Elder Yan was a true artifact refining master. Elder Yan said, "In artifact refining, it's not about refining magic treasures of the highest grade, but about getting it just right. Being able to refine a true God realm magic treasure from God Venerate realm materials, that's what's truly impressive." Lin Moyu deeply agreed, and in fact, that was indeed the case. Randomly refining God Venerate realm materials would easily produce a God King realm magic treasure. To refine it into a true God realm magic treasure, that's what's difficult. Refining artifacts at will, being able to obtain whatever grade one desires, that is true skill. Lin Moyu released a wisp of soul, a weak soul, also of the true God realm, matching the jade plate. Then, he traced in the air with his finger, quickly drawing 2 runes. With a slight adjustment to the soul, the 2 runes instantly merged together, forming a new rune. The rune Jade Iz, and Lin Moyu easily achieved perfect fusion. Both of these runes were basic runes, their function being to stabilize and maintain. With the blessing of these 2 runes, soul power could be maintained stably for a long time and would not dissipate. The rune merged into the jade plate, and there was no conflict with the formation within the jade plate, it smoothly fused in. Then, Lin Moyu made a slight adjustment to the soul, from stable to vibrating, causing the soul power to constantly change. Throughout the entire process, the jade plate maintained excellent stability. Elder Yan asked, "How is it? Is this feasible?" Although he didn't understand what Lin Moyu wanted such a magic treasure for, he knew it must be useful. Otherwise, Rune Saint Venerate wouldn't have accompanied him personally. Lin Moyu nodded, "It's perfect. Then, I'll trouble Elder Yan to refine 99 more identical ones." Elder Yan was stunned, he suspected he had misheard. Did he need 100 of these things? And they had to be identical. Doubt arose in his eyes, and at this moment, Rune Saint Venerate said, "We'll trouble Elder Yan." Since Saint Rune spoke, Elder Yan naturally couldn't refuse, and immediately took out materials, ignited the flames, and began refining. Chapter 1905. The more chaotic the alien race, the better. Elder Yan's refining speed was very fast, and jade plates quickly took shape one after another. Lin Moyu's actions were also quite fast, having prepared the fused runes early on, and injecting them into the jade plates one by one. At the same time, his own soul power was also placed into the jade plates. Rune Saint Venerate felt the soul vibration in the jade plates, and in his perception, the souls in the jade plates were all the same, without any difference. He couldn't help but reveal a wry smile, his soul sensitivity was still not enough. It wasn't until the 20th jade plate appeared that he sensed the difference between this jade plate and the first jade plate. Obviously, Lin Moyu had a 1% increase in vibration for the soul in each jade plate. If the vibration frequency of the first jade plate was 1, then the vibration frequency of the last one would be 2, exactly doubled. Doubling the soul vibration, the difference was already quite large. If one couldn't even sense this, then it could only be said that their talent was too weak and not suitable for the path of rune fusion. Although soul sensitivity could be improved acquiredly, there were certain limits to the improvement, and it was impossible to improve it indefinitely. In just half a day, 100 jade plates had been refined. Elder Yan stopped and looked at these jade plates. "Little friend Lin, what are you doing with these?" Lin Moyu said, "For use during lectures." Elder Yan was shocked. Recently, rune masters have been spreading rumors that Rune Saint Venerate is going to give lectures. Could it be that the one giving the lectures isn't Rune Saint Venerate? Rune Saint Venerate chuckled, "It's all rumors. When did I say I was going to give lectures? Little friend Lin is the one giving the lectures, I'm just one of the listeners." Elder Yan was even more shocked. God Venerate giving lectures, Saint Venerate listening, this matter is somewhat. Rune Saint Venerate waved his hand, interrupting Elder Yan's words, "The accomplished are teachers. The path of runes is profound, and in some aspects, little friend Lin has already far surpassed this old man." Elder Yan was puzzled. Rune Saint Venerate was a Saint Venerate who achieved his status through the path of runes, yet he said that Lin Moyu had surpassed him in some aspects. These words were somewhat unbelievable. He wasn't sure if Rune Saint Venerate was being too modest or if it was simply the truth. Rune Saint Venerate didn't explain further. Elder Yan's gaze fell on the 100 jade plates he had refined. "The souls in these jade plates seem to be somewhat different, but I can't quite put my finger on where the difference lies." At this time, Lin Moyu had already numbered the jade plates, from 1 to 100, arranged in order. Hearing this, Lin Moyu immediately said, "Elder Yan, using jade plate number 1 as the baseline, from which one do you feel the soul began to change?" Elder Yan sensed for a moment and looked at jade plate number 15, it started to become different from number 15. Strange, there's clearly nothing different. He could feel the difference, but he couldn't say where the difference was. This feeling was very strange. Rune Saint Venerate laughed. "Elder Yan's soul sensitivity is quite good. Have you considered cultivating the path of runes?" Elder Yan glared at him. "Are you joking? This old man's Tao heart is indestructible." Rune Saint Venerate laughed heartily. All right. If Elder Yan is interested in listening to the lectures, you're welcome anytime." Elder Yan nodded. "That's more like it. Is there anything else that needs to be refined?" Lin Moyu thought for a moment. "I accidentally obtained a warship, but it's damaged. I wonder if Elder Yan can help repair it." As he spoke, Lin Moyu took out the warship. The warship floated in his palm, and before it was unfolded, it was extremely small. Elder Yan let out a surprised sound when he saw the warship. "This is God Venerate 9 Sovereigns' warship." He didn't expect that he would recognize it at a glance. Lin Moyu was also somewhat surprised. Elder Yan took the warship and examined it carefully. "It is indeed God Venerate 9 Sovereigns' warship, and I personally built it. However, he has disappeared for many years. How did the warship end up in little friend Lin's hands?" Lin Moyu explained his experience of obtaining the warship in the dark void. Elder Yan sensed for a moment and said, "The core is broken, and the aura of God Venerate 9 Sovereigns has disappeared. It seems that God Venerate 9 Sovereigns has encountered misfortune. Previously, God Venerate Heavenly Calculation calculated that God Venerate 9 Sovereigns had a tribulation in his fate. It seems he couldn't escape it." Rune Saint Venerate said, "Every year, a considerable number of God Venerates die in the dark void. There's really nothing strange about it. It wasn't that he was cold-blooded, but in his tens of thousands of years of life, he had seen too many partings and deaths and had become indifferent to life and death." Lin Moyu asked, "Can Elder Yan repair it?" Elder Yan nodded. "No problem. I built it in the first place, so it's not difficult to repair it, but it will take some time." Lin Moyu immediately thanked him. Now that he no longer had the Golden Eagle Race God Venerate as a mount, it would be nice to have a God Venerate Realm warship for transportation. Elder Yan began to repair the warship, and Rune Saint Venerate took Lin Moyu to the Rune Master Association in the Divine City. On the way, Rune Saint Venerate told Lin Moyu about the recent situation. The spirit-devouring race's screening speed is gradually accelerating. In 1 year, they have basically completed the screening of the advanced area of the Divine City, and now the focus of the screening has shifted to the intermediate area. In the advanced area, a total of 108 people were found, of which 28 were God Venerates and 80 were God Kings. AAAs seeking fresh flowers. AAA. The mere fact that so many soul-devouring clansmen are lurking in the advanced areas indicates a significant number. Moreover, the number in the intermediate areas is even greater, suggesting that the situation in the primary and outer areas might be even worse. Not to mention the 4 great starfields and the quadrilateral battlefield. Lin Mo said, "It seems the soul-devouring clan has grand ambitions." Symbol Saint Venerable nodded. "After 10,000 years of dormancy, they must have a major plan, but this time, we inadvertently disrupted it. Once they react, I fear chaos will erupt among the various races." Lin Mo said, "As long as our human race remains stable, as for the alien races, the more chaotic, the better." The more chaotic, the better. These words were spoken coldly, but that is the reality. The great world is cruel, it's best if you're miserable, so I can kick you when you're down. 0. Currently, the Human Emperor Network is conducting comprehensive monitoring of the entire human race. The soul-devouring clan cannot even communicate secretly. Any abnormality will be detected by the Human Emperor Network. The entire human race has laid a great net, and none of the soul-devouring clansmen within will escape. As for other races, they are full of loopholes, and this net has been completely broken, so chaos is inevitable. The two arrived at the Symbol Master Plaza, which is the true headquarters and sacred ground of the human race's Symbol Masters. A towering 10-story Symbol Master Tower stood tall, identical to the one in the Human Emperor Network. The Human Emperor Network is a virtual world, and many of its elements are projections of the real world. Including the Symbol Master Association's Symbol Master Tower, this one in the real world is the prototype. Inside the Symbol Master Tower, Lin Mo felt several powerful auras. Symbol Saint Venerable introduced, the Symbol Master Plaza in Divine City is the headquarters of the Symbol Master Association, and only high-level Symbol Masters are qualified to come here. Moreover, not all high-level Symbol Masters are qualified to come. Lin Mo nodded. He could sense that the high-level Symbol Masters in the tower were all high-level Divine Venerables, and not just at the 7th level. Some were even peak Divine Venerables, highly likely to cross over to the other shore. The plaza was vast, circular, with a diameter of tens of thousands of meters. Around the plaza stood a row of statues, each thousands of meters tall, very majestic. According to Symbol Saint Venerable, these statues are of high-level Symbol Masters of the human race. Without exception, they all made great contributions to the human race. However, they have all passed away. Lin Mo bowed to each of them, the human race's predecessors, deserving of great respect. Chapter 1906. The one lecturing is actually Lin Mo. Warships arrived from afar, entered Divine City, and came to the Symbol Master Plaza. Inside were high-level Symbol Masters, mostly high-level Divine Venerables. They might not be strong in combat, not as good as those combat-oriented high-level Divine Venerables, but the role they can play surpasses that of most high-level Divine Venerables. Symbol arrays and powerful runes can be applied to magical treasures, warships, and various other places. The existence of Symbol Masters greatly enhances the human race's combat power. Symbol Masters, weapon refiners, and alchemists are also known as auxiliary masters, indispensable. 10 days later, almost all of the human race's high-level Symbol Masters had arrived. The total number of high-level Symbol Masters exceeded 10,000, seated in the plaza according to their ranks. Sitting at the front were 9th Order Symbol Masters, followed by 8th Order and 7th Order, ranks clearly defined and not to be crossed. They faced the Symbol Master Tower, their gazes ultimately falling on the 10th floor, their eyes filled with a hint of longing. Entering the 10th floor of the Symbol Master Tower is the dream of every Symbol Master. Only by surpassing 9th Order and truly reaching the peak is one qualified to enter. Becoming a Symbol Master is not easy, effort and talent are both indispensable. And being able to become a high-level Symbol Master is 1 in 100. Among high-level Symbol Masters, those who can truly surpass 9th Order and reach the peak are even fewer. In the current generation of the human race, there are only a handful of people. 10,000 high-level Symbol Masters may seem like a lot, but for the human race's population, it is actually very few. There are more low-level symbol masters, concentrated in the Human Emperor network, waiting to listen to the lecture in the virtual world. Everything in the real world was faithfully projected into the Human Emperor network. The symbol masters were very patient, the entire venue was silent, not even a pin could be heard. Half a day later, the symbol master tower, which had remained still, suddenly lit up. The light burst forth from the bottom floor, spreading upwards layer by layer. Countless runes flew out of the tower, dancing in the air, like hundreds of millions of beautiful butterflies, weaving into a colorful auspicious cloud, incomparably spectacular and beautiful. These runes constantly intertwined and changed in the air, forming various beautiful scenes, ever-changing, making people marvel. When the 10th floor of the Symbol Master Tower also lit up, 3 people flew out from it. It's the president, and 2 elders. In this era, only 3 people can enter the 10th floor of the tower. Besides the president, Symbol Saint Venerable, there are also 2 elders. Their attainments in runes have reached the realm of transformation, far surpassing ordinary people. Just as everyone thought Symbol Saint Venerable was about to lecture them, the 3 flew to the front of all the symbol masters in front of the tower and turned to face the tower. The 3's gazes fell on the top of the tower, and everyone followed suit, seeing that there was actually one more person on the top of the tower. Lin Mo sat in the air, his eyes slightly closed, seemingly deep in thought. In front of the Symbol Master Tower, the gazes of the 10,000 high-level symbol masters were different, but they remained silent, without discussion. But in the Human Emperor network, it had already exploded. Who is this? Why is he on the top of the tower? This is Teacher Lin. Teacher Lin is on the top of the tower. Could it be that the one lecturing this time is Teacher Lin? Heavens, do even the president and elders have to listen to Teacher Lin's lecture? Teacher Lin is actually so strong, even the president has to listen to his Tao. I'm really looking forward to what Teacher Lin will talk about. When Lin Mo comprehended the Tao previously, many mid and low-level symbol masters had received Lin Mo's favor. Although there was no formal master-disciple relationship, there was the reality of it. They regarded Lin Mo as their teacher, calling him Teacher Lin with great enthusiasm. As if Lin Mo being able to lecture was a great honor for them as well. Silence. A loud voice rang out from the Human Emperor network. It was the voice of Symbol Saint Venerable, and the Human Emperor network immediately became silent. Then Symbol Saint Venerable continued, "This lecture will be presided over by Lin Mo. Everyone please listen carefully, do not make a sound." As his voice fell, whether in reality or the Human Emperor network, there was completely no noise. Lin Mo also opened his eyes at this moment, with runes faintly flickering in his eyes, his aura rising sharply. The soul of the other shore realm erupted completely at this moment, and powerful soul pressure swept over. The Human Emperor network also transmitted this change in real time. Whether in the real world or the Human Emperor network, it was shrouded in soul pressure. What a strong pressure. This child has such a strong soul. This child's soul is probably already Jade Soul generating purple, reaching the peak of the 4th grade, stepping into the other shore in the future is a certainty. Such talent is not to be underestimated. In reality, the high-level symbol masters felt a tremor in their hearts. They were all high-level divine venerables, but at this moment they had the illusion of facing the other shore realm. At this moment, they finally truly recognized Lin Mo. Lin Mo gave a wave of his hand, and 100 jade plates flew out, arranged in a row from left to right according to their numbers. At the same time, 100 jade plates also appeared in the Human Emperor network. The power of the Human Emperor network was so strong that it was almost identical to reality. Even the Symbol Saint Venerable found it difficult to detect the vibrations and changes in the souls within the 100 jade plates, but the Human Emperor network could perfectly replicate them. At the time, Lin Mo was puzzled as to why the Human Emperor network could perfectly replicate the vibration frequency of souls but couldn't deduce a method for the perfect fusion of runes. It shouldn't be this way in theory. But the reality was that Lin Mo didn't know why. Lin Mo's voice was neither heavy nor light as he spoke. This lecture will focus on 2 points. The first is the Tao of rune fusion. The second is the Tao of using arrays to create runes. As he spoke, Lin Mo's fingers moved slightly, quickly drawing several runes. He randomly picked 2, and with a thought, his soul acted as a bridge, and the 2 runes immediately fused together. The runes blended together perfectly, fusing very smoothly without any setbacks. So fast. When did fusing runes become so simple? Everyone was stunned, even those high-level rune masters were dumbfounded. They had never seen rune fusion happen so quickly. It only took 2 seconds for the runes to complete their fusion. Then, an even more magical scene occurred. The rune Jade Iz, and the illusory rune turned into a beautiful jade, signifying that the rune had been perfectly fused. Everyone present held their breath, widened their eyes, and watched this magical scene. Not only was it fast, but it was also a perfect fusion. Then, Lin Mo quickly fused other runes. Each time was fast, and each time was a perfect fusion. Everyone's eyes widened even more, almost popping out of their sockets, their mouths agape, unable to speak. These high-level rune masters became distraught. Not only them, but even the 2 elders beside the symbol Saint Venerable were also shocked beyond compare at this moment. Only one question lingered in everyone's minds: how is this done? When did perfectly fusing runes become so simple? 5.7 inches. At the same time, they also began to get excited. Lin Mo was going to lecture on the Tao of rune fusion. Did that also mean that they would have a chance to reach this level? After Lin Mo perfectly fused 10 runes in a row, he officially began his lecture. Souls are all different, with subtle differences. He used the most straightforward language to explain the greatest principles. Everyone present could understand. If they couldn't understand, then they weren't worthy of being a rune master. He made people understand what soul vibration was, how to control the vibration of the soul, and how to improve sensitivity. The 100 jade plates were the best example. Lin Mo told everyone that the soul clusters in the 100 jade plates were all different and that they needed to constantly sense and feel their differences. When they could sense the differences between them, it meant that their soul sensitivity had reached the passing stage. Lin Mo also set standards for this, namely passing, good, excellent, and perfect. Chapter 1907. The True Way to Obtain Divine City Merit. The 4-tier standards set by Lin Mo had extremely large differences in requirements. Among the 100 white jade plates, the soul vibration frequencies of number 1 and number 100 differed by a factor of 1. If one could sense the difference between the two, then they had passed. If one could sense the difference between number 1 and number 50, then they were good. If one could sense the difference between number 1 and number 20, then they were excellent. If one could sense the difference between number 1 and number 5, then they were perfect. In Lin Mo's setting, if a person was born with a passing soul, it had already proven that they possessed good rune master talent. After training, their soul sensitivity could be further improved, enough for them to become a high-level rune master. They would also be able to achieve good results in the Tao of rune fusion. If they were good, then they would have a chance to become an 8th order or even a 9th order rune master. Those who were excellent would have no problem becoming a 9th order rune master and might even have a chance to surpass the 9th order. As for those who were perfect, they would definitely be able to surpass the 9th order and be qualified to be like Lin Mo, achieving perfect rune fusion every time. Symbol Saint Venerable and the 2 elders belonged to the excellent standard, but they were still somewhat short of perfect. Lin Mo didn't know if there was anyone among the listeners who had reached the excellent standard. However, this wasn't his concern. He was only in charge of lecturing, and the other things were what the symbol Saint Venerable should be worried about. After lecturing on the Tao of rune fusion, Lin Mo then patiently lectured on the Tao of using arrays to create runes. Many people thought that using arrays to create runes required the assistance of array masters. Only after Lin Mo's lecture did they understand that the array-based rune creation that Lin Mo was talking about was actually the batch manufacturing of runes using rune arrays. This idea was almost whimsical, and they had never thought that it could be done this way. However, Lin Mo completely shattered their worldview. Lin Mo personally demonstrated the entire process of completing array-based rune creation. He explained all of his ideas. As for how much they could understand and how much they could comprehend, it depended on the individual. Lin Mo taught, but he didn't guarantee that they would learn. Throughout the entire lecture process, no one made any noise. No matter how shocked or unbelievable they were, they didn't make a sound. The entire lecture lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. Lin Mo thoroughly explained the methods of rune fusion and array-based rune creation without reservation. After the lecture ended, Lin Mo left, leaving behind 100 jade plates and a rune array. The rune array was still running, constantly creating runes, continuously telling everyone that array-based rune creation was feasible. After Lin Mo left, the entire rune master square was silent, and no one made a sound for a long time. However, their soul power had already leaked out, and they were all sensing the white jade plates, verifying their own souls. Everyone wanted to know which level they belonged to. Lin Mo's lecture involved two aspects, rune fusion and rune arrays. Regardless of which path they chose, they all benefited greatly. The symbol Saint Venerable slowly flew up, pointing his finger towards the outside of the square. On the originally empty space, a 1,000-meter statue rose from the ground. The statue was actually Lin Mo's likeness. The symbol Saint Venerable's voice rumbled, Lin Shi cracked the secret of rune fusion and pioneered the use of arrays to create runes. He deserves to have a statue erected. His voice resounded throughout the divine city. Lin Mo's statue not only appeared in the real world, but also appeared next to the Rune Master Tower in the Human Emperor network. From this moment on, Lin Mo was ranked alongside many sages of the human race. The Rune Masters bowed to Lin Mo's statue and called out, Lin Shi. With one lecture, Lin Mo became the teacher of all Rune Masters of the human race. Streams of vast power of faith poured towards Lin Mo. In the blink of an eye, the power of faith Lin Mo harvested exceeded the efforts of several hundred days. After this period of accumulation, Lin Mo already possessed a considerable amount of faith power. Now that it had nearly doubled again, the power of faith Lin Mo possessed had exceeded 400,000 units. Adding the faith token in his hand, he now had a total of 1 million units of faith power that he could mobilize. Lin Mo headed towards the cultivation room. The lecture was over, and he wanted to continue cultivating. He recalled the words that the symbol Saint Venerable had said. Lecturing is not only to have your methods understood and passed down, but also for yourself. There will be gains from lecturing, and these gains will be continuous. At this moment, Lin Mo already understood the meaning of the symbol Saint Venerable's words. The Rune Master's power of faith was not a one-time thing, but a continuous supply. Even if it gradually leveled off later, it would still add nearly 200 units of faith power to him every day when converted. Adding the previous gains, he could increase 600 units of faith power every day. This speed was already not slow among all the divine venerables. Just back in the cultivation room, Lin Mo Yu suddenly received a reminder from the Human Emperor network. Due to cracking the secret of rune fusion, rewarded with 10,000 divine city merits, contribution 2 points. Due to creating array-based runes, rewarded with 10,000 divine city merits, contribution 2 points. Due to preaching, being admired by all rune masters, erecting a statue in commemoration, and making history, rewarded with 10,000 divine city merits, contribution 1 point. Lin Mo Yu was stunned, one preaching session actually yielded so much. What happened to the supposed difficulty in earning divine city merits? Why does it feel so easy? He had just been promoted to intermediate level, and originally planned to conquer some secret realms to strive for promotion to advanced level within a dozen years. How come he suddenly has more than 60,000 divine city merits now? It seems like he's not far from the 100,000 needed to be promoted to a senior staff member. It seems that the real way to earn divine city merits is not by conquering secret realms. The real way should be to contribute to the human race. The greater the contribution, the higher the reward. Conquering secret realms is also a contribution, but the contribution does not benefit most people, so the reward is relatively small. Lin Mo Yu had an epiphany, but secret realms still need to be conquered. Benefiting from conquering secret realms is not just for the human race, but also for himself. The understanding and gains of ancient runes from it are not much worse than divine city merits. If it weren't for the matter of the spirit-devouring race dragging him down, he might have gone to find a secret realm to play in. The door of the cultivation room closed in a soft sound, and Lin Mo Yu's thoughts also calmed down. He came to the center and sat down cross-legged. He is now a divine venerable, and can already cultivate a second or even third law. Some divine venerables follow the path of a single law. They do not cultivate multiple laws, but only cultivate one from beginning to end. Just like Zhu Qiwu, who only cultivates the Shattered Star Law. But there are also many divine venerables who cultivate multiple laws. In Lin Mo Yu's view, there is no distinction between the two methods. No matter which method, the final result is the same. This is different from the path of runes, which has a higher degree of freedom. Lin Mo Yu had already made up his mind that he would cultivate the law of space and the law of time at the same time. Plus the natal law of immortality, a total of 3 laws to cultivate together. Although this will be slower, once successful, the future path will only be easier, and the combat power will be greatly improved. Let's start with time first. With a thought, he gently pointed out a finger, and a touch of red light suddenly illuminated the cultivation room. White star level spell, Time Curse. Without a target, the curse did not play any role. Lin Moyu thought for a while and threw out a true God realm magic weapon. He doesn't know where this thing came from, he has a lot of this kind of garbage in his hand. With another tap of his finger, the time curse broke out for the second time and landed on the magic weapon. A touch of red light appeared on the magic weapon, and a red sword appeared on it, which was the mark of the curse. Chapter 1908. Start cultivating new laws. The characteristic of time curse is that it can curse both living beings and magic weapons. Then, with a thought, the time of the curse suddenly accelerated, instantly accelerating to 1000 times, reaching the limit of the spell. A peculiar aura spread out. This is the aura of the law of time. Lin Moyu was overjoyed and was about to sense it carefully. The true God realm magic weapon made a crisp sound and then collapsed. It failed to withstand the power of the curse and was completely destroyed. The magic weapon collapsed, and the curse also disappeared. The true God realm is too weak. Or the time acceleration is too fast. Lin Moyu's eyes were thoughtful, and he threw out another true God realm magic weapon. White star level spell, time curse. This time, he increased the speed of the curse to 10 times. In this way, the true God realm magic weapon can withstand it for a longer time. But similarly, the aura of the law of time also became extremely weak. Lin Moyu tried hard to sense it. With his soul's sensitivity, it was difficult to sense anything. If it were someone else, I'm afraid they wouldn't be able to sense anything at all. At most, they can recognize that there is a component of the law of time in it, but nothing else. Want to comprehend the law of time from it? No way. This is like cultivating in the time room. The time stone can accelerate time, but don't think about comprehending the law of time from the time stone. After trying several times, Lin Moyu muttered to himself, if the curse acceleration is less than 100 times, it is basically useless. The best way is to keep the curse at 1000 times, and it needs to be maintained for a period of time. Need something that can withstand the power of the curse for a long time. Lin Moyu repeatedly tried several magic weapons. Even the divine Venerable realm magic weapon can only withstand up to 1 hour under the time curse. 1 hour is a drop in the bucket for comprehending the law. Comprehending the law often takes years. 1 hour is nothing, it's over before it even starts. After Lin Moyu knew what he was missing, he temporarily stopped comprehending the law of time. The wings of the undead were unfolded, and a large amount of soul power was injected into the wings of the undead. The wings of the undead suddenly began to vibrate violently. The vibration speed was so fast that even the afterimages could not be seen. From a distance, the wings of the undead looked like they were not moving at all. Gradually, cracks appeared in the space around the wings of the undead. The familiar law of space began to permeate from the wings of the undead. Like comprehending the law of time, comprehending the law of space also requires a price. The price is Lin Moyu's soul power. Vibrating the wings of the undead to show the law of space requires a huge amount of soul power. Lin Moyu urged his soul power regardless of the cost, and the world tree continuously replenished his soul power. Urging the wings of the undead to stimulate the law of space requires consuming soul power, and comprehending the law of space also requires consuming soul power. Both methods went hand in hand, and Lin Moyu's soul power poured out like a waterfall. If it weren't for the world tree continuously replenishing it, he wouldn't be able to last long. Lin Moyu used his mind for two purposes. While controlling the wings of the undead to continuously stimulate the law of space, he also comprehended it. Compared to the law of time, Lin Moyu felt that the law of space was simpler, at least it didn't require additional things. He constantly adjusted to maintain the balance between replenishment and consumption. Time passed day by day. Lin Moyu fell into the ocean of laws, wandering freely. In front of the Rune Master Square, a group of high-level Rune Masters did not leave. They kept sensing their jade plates, and according to the method Lin Moyu said, they trained their soul sensitivity. The same is true in the Human Emperor Network. A group of low and middle-level Rune Masters are also doing the same. They all use jade plate number 1 as a benchmark and compare it with other jade plates. Haha, I sensed jade plate no. 88. I sensed jade plate no. 86. I improved by 1 number. You only improved by 1 number. I have already improved by 3 numbers. I directly sensed jade plate number 67. There really is a difference. I thought it was the same before. Master Lin is too powerful. How did he discover this? If he didn't say it, I wouldn't have discovered it at all. It turns out that there are so many tricks to fusing runes. On the other side, a rune array continued to operate without interruption. Basic runes flew out from the array one by one. The structure of this array was very simple, but in the eyes of some rune masters who followed the path of rune arrays, it was a sacred object. They studied the rune array as if on a pilgrimage. Some people were already trying to arrange similar rune arrays themselves, but all attempts ended in failure. Knowing it was one thing, but being able to do it yourself was another. As a result, they felt even more that Lin Mo was amazing. Rune Sage Venerable had also gone into seclusion. He began to study and identify the runes of the spirit-devouring race again. At the same time, he also had to train his soul. Using his mind for two things at once was not difficult for him. The scale of the spirit-devouring race's investigation was rapidly expanding, and now it had covered the intermediate area of the Divine City. The area was larger than the advanced area, and the number of people investigated every day was also greater. Many cultivators in the advanced area who had been checked and found to be fine had also turned around and become investigators, joining the operation. Lin Mo's Death Dragon Knights became their best assistants. The human race's tenet was very simple: kill them upon discovery, without showing any mercy. The spirit-devouring race had once caused great damage to the human race, and it was also a blood feud between generations. The two sides only fought to the death. However, the situation reported back from the intermediate area was not optimistic. Heavenly Sage Venerable and House Sage Venerable had been gloomy recently. The data they received from the Human Emperor Network every day made them unable to be happy. The spirit-devouring race had been lurking too deeply. 10,000 years had given them enough time to infiltrate. The Divine City was already like this, so the situation in the 4-star domains and the 4 battlefields was even more unimaginable. Fortunately, the infiltration of the spirit-devouring race in the Hall of War Gods and the army was not serious, and the foundation of the human race had not been threatened. Nearly 2 years after the spirit-devouring race's investigation began, they finally received a piece of information from a foreign race. Heavenly Sage Venerable looked at the information, his eyes revealing joy. In the demon race, 2 demons in the other shore realm have been confirmed to be spirit-devouring race members. One is from the Hell lineage, and the other is from the Abyss lineage. It is said that they fought a great battle in the ancestral land, and 1/3 of the ancestral land was destroyed, with countless casualties. House Sage Venerable chuckled and said, "The 3 silver race is not much better." They also have 2 other shore realm members who have been identified as spirit-devouring race members. Moreover, the spirit-devouring race members in the 3 silver race have collectively rioted. The number is really astonishing. The 3 silver race had broken out into civil war. There were many spirit-devouring race members, and there were also other shore realm existences, who directly started a confrontation with the real 3 silver race. Each race had some big or small troubles. For the human race, this was good news. No Jiao. The starry skyfish race was the most peaceful in this spirit-devouring race disaster. According to the current news, no spirit-devouring race members have been found in their race. After all, they had been hidden from the world for too long, and it was difficult for the spirit-devouring race to infiltrate them. Half a year later, the door of the cultivation secret chamber where Lin Mo was located opened again. Lin Mo flew out from it and went directly to the refining area. He sent a message to Elder Yan, needing Elder Yan to help refine something. Elder Yan immediately agreed and asked Lin Mo to go to the refining area to find him. In the refining area, the temperature was scorching. Elder Yan was forging iron. However, his iron forging was very peculiar. He himself did not move, but directly used his soul to forge iron. With each strike, a strand of soul power was injected into it. Moreover, what Elder Yan was forging was the bottom of a large hammer. Lin Mo could see that Elder Yan was not really forging it, but was going to integrate his soul power into it in this way, increasing the fusion between the soul and the hammer. Elder Yan's head didn't turn back, and he concentrated on controlling his soul. Wait a little longer, it'll be done soon. Chapter 1909. It seems the human race needs the law of time. Lin Mo was not in a hurry. He admired Elder Yan's hammer. This kind of forcibly injecting soul power into a magic weapon in the form of forging can greatly enhance the compatibility between the magic weapon and oneself, thereby exerting stronger combat power. Compared to simply nourishing the soul, this method is more effective. However, there are also problems. If the soul forging power is not controlled well, or is not balanced enough, it will also cause damage to the magic weapon itself. Elder Yan's skills are beyond doubt, and this kind of skill requires years of practice, and it is not something that can be learned just by wanting to learn it. After Elder Yan rhythmically forged for thousands of times, he put away his soul power and magic weapon, and then looked at Lin Mo. "Little friend Lin, what can I do for you?" Lin Mo directly stated his intention. "I want to trouble Elder Yan to help me forge something." Lin Mo stated his requirements. What he wanted was not a magic weapon, even if it was just materials. The key was that Elder Yan needed to reinforce it so that it could withstand the power of the curse. After listening to Lin Mo's request, Elder Yan directly took out a piece of high-grade material from the divine Venerable realm. "Try this and see if it works." This material looked like a mirror, as if it could reflect all light. Elder Yan explained, "This is called mirror light stone, which can reflect most attacks. Among the materials of the divine Venerable realm, it is considered to be a relatively strong one." Lin Mo cast a curse on the mirror light stone, and then directly accelerated the curse by 1,078,000 times. Just 1 minute later, a tiny crack appeared on the mirror light stone. Elder Yan's pupils shrank as he looked at Lin Mo. "Why do I feel that there is a taste of the law of time in your spells?" Lin Mo said, "I can make the damage of the curse erupt in a short period of time, which can indeed stimulate a trace of the law of time." Elder Yan said, "Do you want to use this characteristic to comprehend the law of time?" Lin Mo admitted it generously, "Yes." Elder Yan pondered for a few seconds, then sighed, "This is very difficult. There are many things that can stimulate the law of time, but it is almost impossible to comprehend the law of time from them. At least in the history of the human race, no one has done it." Lin Mo said, "I want to try." Elder Yan did not object. "It's good to try, someone always has to try. If you can really comprehend the law of time, then you will create a precedent in the history of the human race." Saying that, he took back the mirror light stone. The mirror light stone only lasted for 1 round of curse before cracks appeared, which was obviously not good. Lin Mo's curse spell power was very strong. The mirror light stone could resist most attacks, but it could not reflect the power of the curse. The characteristics of the mirror light stone could not be brought into play, so it seemed a little fragile. Elder Yan took out another material. This time the material was more advanced, emitting the aura of the other shore realm. Seeing Elder Yan's cautious appearance, it was obvious that this material was also very precious to him. This material was about the size of 2 fists. Deep blue flames rose from Lin Lao's palm and began to burn the material. The material gradually weakened in the flames, and then Lin Lao turned his palm into a sword and directly split off a small piece from it. This small piece of material was only 1/10 of the entire material. Lin Mo didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He really wanted to say, "Are you so stingy?" Elder Yan seemed to have heard Lin Mo's inner thoughts. "This material is called ancient gold, which is very precious. It was obtained from an ancient relic. The old man has treasured it for many years. If you hadn't asked, the old man would not have been willing to give it. It turned out to be a material obtained from an ancient relic, so it was indeed very precious." Elder Yan maintained the flame and continued to heat the material, while explaining, "Ancient gold has very strong toughness and can withstand a lot of damage. The most important thing is that it has the characteristic of self-repair. I will also engrave a self-repairing array and a defense-enhancing array on it, which should be enough to withstand your spells." Lin Mo immediately expressed his gratitude. "Thank you, Elder Yan." Elder Yan waved his hand. "There's no need to be so polite. The old man also hopes that you can comprehend the law of time." The ancient gold became softer and softer, and Elder Yan took out the sledgehammer and began to forge it. After all, it was a material from the other shore realm, so refining it was not as easy as refining the white jade plate before. Even Elder Yan used tools. The hammer struck down one after another, and the ancient gold was smashed into a square gold block. The ancient gold was small, only the size of a baby's fist. But after Elder Yan's operation, the ancient gold became a hollow cube, and its volume actually expanded a bit. Then Elder Yan began to engrave the array. There was not only one array, but a total of 6 arrays, located on the 6 sides of the cube respectively. The 6 arrays CIBH, 3 of them provide it with the ability to self-repair, and 3 provide strong defense. The 6 arrays worked together, coupled with the self-healing properties of ancient gold, and its defense was already very strong. Elder Yan handed the refined ancient gold cube to Lin Mo. "I hope you can really comprehend the law of time from it." Lin Mo seemed to hear some other meaning. Elder Yan seemed to value the law of time very much. Lin Mo accepted Ji Yu Jin, I will do my best. In front of Elder Yan, he tried his time curse. After 10 consecutive curses, Ji Yu Jin did not change at all. It should be said that it suffered a little damage, but it quickly recovered automatically, which was difficult to see with the naked eye. Ji Yu Jin's ability to continue was verified, and Lin Mo was very satisfied with this material and very grateful to Elder Yan. After saying goodbye to Elder Yan, Lin Mo returned to the training room and officially began to practice the law of time. After practicing the law of space for half a year, he had a little experience. Although he had not really understood it, he had at least found a way. Lin Mo decisively stopped and turned to practice the law of time. He wanted the two laws to advance side by side, and they should not be too far apart. One could not have already entered the door, while the other had no clue. At Elder Xing's place, he saw the power after the fusion of laws. He finally understood that the divine venerables outside his small world died under the combined action of time and space. It was the law of time that blinded the divine venerables' senses, causing their perception to be disordered. The law of space then crushed their bodies, so that they did not understand why they died until their death. Lin Mo guessed that the fusion of the two major laws of time and space could form an extremely terrifying force. At that moment, he was determined to fuse the two laws together. The time curse was cast again and again, accelerating continuously, and Lin Mo tirelessly sensed the law of time. Since Lin Mo retreated, 7 years have passed in a blink of an eye. The human race has finally completed the investigation of the entire God City star field. As expected by several holy venerables, the number of spirit-devouring race in the intermediate, primary, and outer areas of God City has doubled. Holy Venerable Hao looked at the data statistics from the Human Emperor Network, his eyes extremely complicated. God City Star Field, 3,548 Divine Venerables, 162,328 Divine Kings, 3.46 million True Gods, and 16.78 million Transcendent Gods. A total of more than 20 million, spirit-devouring race, well done. He said these words through gritted teeth. After 7 years of investigation, a total of more than 20 million people who had been seized were found. The deaths of 20 million people can be said to be the most serious loss for the human race in so many years. The ridiculous thing is that they did not die on the battlefield. Holy Venerable Tian said in a deep voice, after 100,000 years of lurking, the spirit-devouring race's infiltration has indeed penetrated very deeply. If they had not been accidentally discovered this time, I am afraid that the entire human race would be in chaos in another 100,000 years. God City is fine, the Human Emperor Network has enough control. The 4-star regions and the 4 battlefields are the trouble, where the Human Emperor Network is not strong enough. At this time, someone flew in from outside the hall. Seeing the person coming, Holy Venerable Tian and Holy Venerable Hao both showed joy. Chapter 1910, It's best to kill half and leave half. Holy Venerable Fu had been in seclusion for nearly 7 years and finally left. His appearance was nothing more than 2 results. One was the failure to study runes. The second is success, and the corresponding rune array has been researched. Looking at Holy Venerable Fu's face, they knew that he must have succeeded. Before Holy Venerable Tian and Holy Venerable Hao could ask questions, Holy Venerable Fu had already spoken first. 2 things, one is that the rune array has been researched, but it needs Elder Yan's cooperation to refine the array plate together. I will go to him later. The second thing, I just got the news that the 3 silver race is in chaos. Holy Venerable Shaoshan in the silver dog race is a member of the spirit-devouring race. Under the control of Holy Venerable Shaoshan, most of the people in the silver dog race have become spirit-devouring race. There are also other Shore Realm experts and some divine venerables in the Silver Egret race and the Silver Snake race who belong to the Spirit-Devouring race. They have joined forces with the Silver Dog race to launch an internal rebellion. It is conceivable that after this internal strife in the 3 silver race, their strength will be at least halved. Holy Venerable Fu quickly finished speaking. The first thing did not need Holy Venerable Hao and Holy Venerable Tian to worry about. He could solve it himself by going to Elder Huo. The key was the second thing. 7 years after the spirit-devouring race incident fermented, the 3 silver race finally became chaotic. Although it was much slower than expected, the result was the same. The Shu family where Holy Venerable Fu was located was the largest source of intelligence for the human race, and his news would not be wrong. After Holy Venerable Fu finished speaking, he left and went directly to Elder Huo to refine the array plate. Now the problem fell on Holy Venerable Tian and Holy Venerable Hao. Holy Venerable Tian, as the Lord of God City, can be said to be the current helmsman of the human race. Holy Venerable Hao is like a military advisor. Basically, major events in the human race are decided by them after discussion. Holy Venerable Tian said, according to the plan, should we add insult to injury? Holy Venerable Hao pondered for a moment. He considered the gains and losses. 100,000 years ago, the three silver race were actually three small races. Back then, they joined forces and robbed us of a lot of resources and many cultivation methods, and finally grew into a strong race. This hatred must be avenged. This internal strife is a good opportunity. Holy Venerable Tian said, what I am considering is whether to find the starry sky fish race again and ask them to borrow some manpower so that we can wipe out the three silver race in one fell swoop. Holy Venerable Hao shook his head, I don't think it is necessary. The three silver race are different from the Buddhist race. They still have many clansmen in the outer realm, and it is impossible to truly wipe them out in one fell swoop. There is not much difference between letting 100,000 escape and letting 1 million escape. Moreover, the starry sky fish race will also have requirements and conditions. Last time we cooperated, there was a reason why we had to cooperate, and everyone took what they needed. The 100,000 warships we left there are still being modified. News came last year that only 10,000 ships have been modified, which is still very early. Moreover, all races are now busy with the spirit-devouring race. As long as we act fast enough, it will be a foregone conclusion when they react. We only need to pay attention to one thing. We are going to kill people, not to occupy territory. We don't want to occupy the star field of the three silver race. Whoever likes it can go. Holy Venerable Hao weighed the gains and losses, and after comparison, decided not to join forces with the starry sky fish race this time. With the strength of the human race, even in the heyday of the three silver race, the human race can wipe them out. The only thing to worry about is whether other races will come to interfere. If the human race's actions are too big and cause the races to join forces, it will not be a good thing. Even if the human race is not afraid, it will have to pay a considerable price. Now, taking advantage of the chaos of the spirit-devouring race, is indeed a good opportunity. Holy Venerable Tian agreed with Holy Venerable Hao's words, you are right, let's discuss the specific details. Holy Venerable Hao chuckled, I have thought about it, this time we must be fast, accurate, and ruthless, we don't need to use too many people, and the actions must be small. The two Holy Venerables began to carefully plan and discuss, and the results of their discussions also determined the life and death of a race. Half a year later, the human race's investigation of the spirit-devouring race finally spread from God City to the 4-star regions. From this moment on, the 4-star regions were completely closed, allowing entry but not exit. A formation called the Truth Verification Formation began to be deployed in large numbers in the 4-star regions. Everyone needs to pass the test of the Truth Verification Formation, and also needs to take the Great World Oath under the supervision of the Human Emperor Network. At the same time, a large number of people from the God City Star Field entered the 4-star regions to conduct investigations. Accompanying them were also the ferocious and terrifying Death Dragon Knights. Truth Verification Pill, Truth Verification Formation, and Great World Oath, three-pronged approach, with no one slipping through the net. It was also because of the addition of the Truth Verification Formation, which replaced part of the role of the Truth Verification Pill, that the efficiency was greatly accelerated. All the spirit-devouring race people who were found were killed on the spot without asking why. The threat of the spirit-devouring race was too great, and there was no room for bargaining. Under the management and supervision of the Human Emperor Network, the spirit-devouring race lurking inside the human race basically had no hope of escaping. At the same time that the 4-star regions began to investigate, the door of Lin Mo's training room was suddenly opened. Lin Mo, who had been in seclusion for more than 7 years, left the training room and reappeared. In the past 7 years, his cultivation had not increased at all, but his temperament had changed a lot. Ask for flowers 0 He had an extra ethereal and extraordinary aura on his body. Lin Mo restrained his aura, and after a few seconds, he returned to his original appearance. He looked like an ordinary person. He glanced in the direction of the central temple of God City, raised his foot, the space in front of him distorted, and the whole person disappeared instantly. The next second, He had already crossed hundreds of thousands of miles, appearing at the entrance of the central temple. He didn't fly there, but traveled through space. After 7 years of comprehension, Lin Moyu finally stepped into the gate of the law of space. Although he couldn't open the door of space like Yu Qingru, instantly traversing hundreds of millions of miles. But instantaneous movement of 1,000,000 miles was no longer a problem. Space was now completely different in Lin Moyu's eyes. Space was like a wave, constantly undulating in a unique way. It's just that this undulation does not flow on the surface, and has no impact on the surface space. Beneath the surface, there were countless spatial undercurrents. As long as he followed the undercurrents, he could achieve short-range instantaneous movement. Lin Moyu stepped into the central temple, where Heavenly Saint Sovereign and House Saint Sovereign had been waiting for a long time. He had ended his cultivation early this time because he had received a message from the two Saint Sovereigns. Otherwise, he would have liked to further comprehend the two laws of space and time, and even initially merge the two laws. "Senior, what do you want me here for?" Lin Moyu asked straight to the point. Since they had interrupted his cultivation, there must be something important. Heavenly Saint Sovereign quickly explained the matter of the Three Silver Clan. Lin Moyu was very clear that this was indeed a good and rare opportunity. If they missed it, it would be difficult to deal with them next time after the Three Silver Clan recovered from their internal strife. And they also had to consider whether other races would interfere. House Saint Sovereign said, half a year has passed since their internal strife began. In the past 6 months, their conflicts have intensified, and a large number of divine sovereigns have died in battle. Many of the other Shore Realm experts have also been injured. We think the time is right to intervene. Heavenly Saint Sovereign and I discussed it and decided to take action. Now we want to hear your opinion. Since when, Lin Moyu's opinion had become important. Even Saint Sovereigns were willing to listen. Lin Moyu didn't think for long. According to the information, we can indeed take action. But the scale of our action should not be too large, and we must be quick, accurate, and ruthless. Don't be like the Buddhist race, leaving no one alive. It's best to kill half and leave half. We don't want their star field. We'll retreat after killing them. 5. Chapter 1911. Severed Finger of the Past Buddha. Under the gaze of the two Saint Sovereigns, Lin Moyu explained his thoughts in detail. The human race's purpose was not to completely destroy the Three Silver Clan. Complete destruction was too difficult and required a lot of preparation. Like the Buddhist race, without various prior arrangements, if the Buddhist race wanted to escape, it would be difficult to completely obliterate them. But now, the opportunity was fleeting, and it was impossible to give you so much time to prepare. So the best course of action this time was to fight a blitzkrieg and directly inflict heavy damage on the Three Silver Clan. As for killing half and leaving half, Lin Moyu also had his own ideas. In his plan, after this blitzkrieg, the Three Silver Clan would completely decline. Moreover, they would not smooth out the internal strife of the Three Silver Clan, and would even further intensify it. In this way, the Three Silver Clan would continue to decline for a period of time afterwards. It was entirely possible to fall from a strong race to an ordinary race. And they happened to occupy a large number of star fields and massive resources. The various races near them, as long as they weren't too stupid, could seize the opportunity to kill people and grab territory in the Three Silver Clan. The great world was cruel. You could choose not to kill others, but you couldn't stop others from killing you. Not only would the weaker races take action, but perhaps some of the stronger races would also come to get a piece of the pie. After this battle, the complete decline of the Three Silver Clan was a foregone conclusion. Lin Moyu's suggestion received the full support of the two Saint Sovereigns, and then they discussed the specific details. Only half a day later, a warship left the Divine City, opened the door of space in the dark starry sky, and left in an instant. The warship had been modified by the Starry Sky Fishmen and had the ability to travel through space. It could travel in the deepest space at amazing speed. It wouldn't take 2 days to travel from the Divine City to the Three Silver Clan's hinterland. The warship carried 1,000 peak Divine Sovereigns and 10 other Shore Realm experts. In addition, there were Lin Moyu, Heavenly Saint Sovereign, and House Saint Sovereign. Heavenly Saint Sovereign told everyone the entire plan and assigned tasks. The Three Silver Clan had already split into 2 factions internally. One faction was the normal Three Silver Clan people, and the other faction was the Spirit Devouring Clan wearing the skin of the Three Silver Clan. The two factions were fighting, and the main purpose of this operation was to be fast, to inflict heavy damage on the Three Silver Clan as quickly as possible, and to kill their top forces. Of course, they might stop fighting afterwards, but it would be too late at that time, and other races would definitely find an opportunity to take advantage of it. In the warship, thousands of peak divine sovereigns and 10 other shore realm experts were eager to try and ready to go. 2 days later, the warship appeared in the star field of the Three Silver Clan. A huge array plate flew out of the warship and landed on a broken star. The warship continued to sail, constantly appearing in various areas of the Three Silver Clan's star field, throwing out the same array plate. After another 3 days, the warship had silently thrown nearly 10,000 array plates in various locations of the Three Silver Clan's star field. Finally, the warship stayed in the core area of the Three Silver Clan. Here, the Milky Way was broken, a large number of star systems were shattered, and a large amount of flames were burning in the starry sky, as if to burn through the starry sky. Those were the corpses of stars, they were gradually dimming in the starry sky with unwillingness, heading towards the end of their lives. More planetary corpses, they were dilapidated and became the burial place of a large number of living beings. The power of saint sovereigns, other shore realm experts, and divine sovereigns was rampant in the starry sky. There had just been a great battle here not long ago. Lin Moyu could feel that there were still remaining souls wailing endlessly. The wailing was filled with fear, a desire for life, and a large amount of resentment and hatred. Heavenly Saint Sovereign said in a low voice, "Let's begin." His order was like the death god issuing a notice, and the temperature of the entire star field dropped by dozens of degrees at this moment. The remaining flames of the stellar corpses flickered non-stop, they were also in terror. The 10,000 array plates that had been set up earlier unfolded at the same time, turning into huge discs with a diameter of more than 100,000 meters, with sharp towers in the center of the discs. These spears were obviously not from the human race. Ripples of water rippled on the spears, which were also products from the starry sky fishmen. The water waves vibrated the space, and in an instant, the space was locked down. The star field of the Three Silver Clan fell into a quagmire, and all teleportation props and magic weapons failed. The teleportation arrays fell into silence one after another, without any movement. 10,000 array plates were connected together, completely blocking the star field of the Three Silver Clan. From within the array plates, countless skeleton god generals flew out. This had been arranged long ago. Each array plate was actually a barracks. Each array plate contained 10,000 skeleton god generals, and 10,000 array plates contained 100 million skeleton god generals. Each skeleton god general had the combat power of a 6th-order divine sovereign, and with the golden armor talisman, they could block an attack from a peak divine sovereign. Moreover, they could be resurrected again and again, making them extremely difficult to kill. With the order of Heavenly Saint Sovereign, the skeleton god generals swarmed out, killing towards the nearest star systems. The skeleton god generals had no emotions, did not know terror, and were the most loyal and fearless war weapons. It could be foreseen that countless Three Silver Clan people would die under their swords. And countless Three Silver Clan star systems would be destroyed. Just as the space was blocked, several saint sovereigns and other shore realm experts of the Three Silver Clan sensed something was wrong. Not good, there are enemies. The space is blocked, all teleportation props have failed. Not only have the teleportation props failed, but we have also lost contact with the outside world. The starry sky fishmen had an extremely deep understanding of space. They not only blocked the space, but also banned communication props. Heavenly Saint Sovereign and House Saint Sovereign, each leading 5 other shore realm experts and 500 peak divine sovereigns, killed towards different star systems. Their goal was clear, to kill the strongest of the Three Silver Clan. Only when the top experts were dead would other races dare to kick them when they were down. Otherwise, as long as there was a Saint Venerable sitting in charge, no small race without a Saint Venerable would dare to come. House Saint Venerable whispered to Lin Mo, "Be careful for your own safety when the fight starts. It's best not to interfere in the battles between Saint Venerables. Here, take this for self-defense." House Saint Venerable took out a severed finger. The severed finger exuded a terrifying aura, and there seemed to be chanting sounds faintly coming from it. The aura of this severed finger alone was comparable to that of an ordinary other shore realm expert. Lin Mo took the severed finger. "Is this the severed finger of the past Buddha?" House Saint Venerable nodded. "That's right. The past Buddha was a Saint Venerable, and its body was extremely precious. After refining it, it could be said to be a top-grade material. Unexpectedly, House Saint Venerable had actually kept a finger for himself. Lin Mo smiled. Do you know what this means? House Saint Venerable rolled his eyes at Lin Mo. This is for your self-defense, not for you to show off your power. It's best not to use it if you can avoid it. Lin Mo generously put away the severed finger. 0.4 inches. Do you think I'm that kind of person? House Saint Venerable glanced at him. The meaning was obvious. Aren't you that kind of person? At this moment, Lin Mo suddenly received a voice transmission. Your skin is getting thicker and thicker, kid. The owner of the voice was an old acquaintance. Lin Mo turned his head and saw Zhu Qiwu looking at him with a smile. Lin Mo showed a smile. Senior Zhu, you can contribute more this time. Zhu Qiwu winked at Lin Mo, signaling him not to speak directly, but to use soul transmission. House Saint Venerable was Zhu Qiwu's teacher. In front of House Saint Venerable, Zhu Qiwu restrained his temper by 99%. Lin Mo chuckled and immediately switched to soul transmission. After a moment, House Saint Venerable said slowly, don't think that this Venerable one can't hear you just because you're doing that. Lin Mo smiled, just chatting, listen if you want. Chapter 1912. Being merciful to the enemy is being cruel to yourself. Lin Mo was calm, he wasn't as serious as the others. Perhaps he had fought too many battles, big and small, and had lost all feeling. Soon, powerful auras were sensed. The undead vision was activated, and Lin Mo saw a large number of soul flames. They were burning fiercely in the starry sky. These soul flames formed a special shape. That was the battle formation of the Three Silver Clan. The Three Silver Clan also felt the arrival of House Saint Venerable and others, and they suddenly burst out with amazing auras. The battle formation was activated, and illusory images of silver snakes, silver dogs, and silver herons suddenly appeared. The three images represented the three totems of the Three Silver Clan, and they roared violently with the battle formation. The harsh sound reached the depths of the soul. Lin Mo looked indifferent. I'll say hello to them first. As he said that, he snapped his fingers, and countless, densely packed skeleton divine generals appeared in the starry sky. 500 million skeleton divine generals, only 100 million were sent out, and 400 million remained in the spell White Star, waiting for summons to descend at any time. After the skeleton divine generals appeared, they simultaneously raised their long swords. Pure white sword energy, carrying the power of death, swept across the starry sky and submerged the battle formation. The totems of the battle formation that had just been activated were torn to pieces. The skeleton divine generals had the battle power of the 6th rank of Divine Venerable, which was equivalent to tens of millions of experts of the 6th rank of Divine Venerable attacking at the same time. Whether it was power or destructive force, it was far beyond imagination. In one round of attacks, the battle formation of the Three Silver Clan collapsed on the spot, and countless warriors of the Three Silver Clan died on the spot. Damn it! Someone rushed out in a roar. The other Shore Realm experts of the Three Silver Clan finally made their move. Accompanied by the roar, a silver giant dog appeared in the starry sky. The giant dog opened its mouth and roared repeatedly, immediately sucking in countless sword energies and swallowing them into its belly. Then it roared again, spitting out the sword energy it had just swallowed. The spit-out sword energy swam back and rushed towards Lin Mo and others. House Saint Venerable said in a low voice, Qiwu, you go. Yes. Zhu Qiwu shouted and slapped out a palm towards the opponent. Star-shattering palm. A giant palm that seemed to be able to shatter everything appeared in the void. There was a vast galaxy in the giant palm, and countless stars were appearing and disappearing in the galaxy. All the attacks spewed out by the giant dog were shattered by this palm. The star-shattering palm shattered the attack, and its power did not diminish, continuing to fly towards the other Shore Realm expert of the Three Silver Clan. Disc. The giant dog howled non-stop, and a silver disc appeared in the starry sky. The disc was star-shaped, scattering silver light, and collided with Zhu Qiwu's star-shattering palm. The starry sky shook violently, and dense cracks appeared on the silver disc, and it exploded in less than a second. The star-shattering palm continued to move forward with a terrifying aura. This is impossible. The giant dog let out an angry roar, and at the same time shouted sharply, scatter. The Three Silver Clan people behind him scattered frantically, fleeing quickly. At this moment, the star-shattering palm approached, and the giant dog spewed out a huge battle knife from its mouth again. The battle knife fell and slashed on the star-shattering palm. The starry sky shook again, the battle knife collapsed on the spot, the star-shattering palm weakened, but still existed. The giant dog was dumbfounded, he couldn't stop this palm even with all his strength. He retreated frantically, not daring to take such a terrifying palm with his flesh. As he fled, the star-shattering palm also changed direction and chased after him. This palm was soul-locked and could not be easily dodged. Wherever the star-shattering palm passed, the stars collapsed one after another. Under one palm, the other Shore Realm expert of the Three Silver Clan fled frantically. Lin Mo praised, Senior Zhu, truly powerful. Not only him, but the other Shore Realm experts also showed envy. Although the star-shattering law was only in the second tier, its attack power was at the top of the second tier. Zhu Qiwu sublimated the star-shattering law into the star-shattering rule in a single attack. Its power was so great that it was no weaker than the first tier of laws. Zhu Qiwu chuckled, as if he had just done something very ordinary. He winked at Lin Mo, his eyes filled with gratitude. The previous star-shattering palm came from the inheritance of the star-shattering supreme. If he had relied on his own understanding, he would not have been able to deliver such a palm. After all, he had only entered the other Shore Realm not long ago, and was still inferior to many veteran other Shore Realm experts. The team advanced rapidly into the Three Silver Clan's army garrison, and House Saint Venerable shouted, "Attack!" Slaughter descended, and all the other Shore Realm and Divine Venerable experts scattered at the same time, beginning a terrible slaughter. Hao Shungjun set his sights on the depths of the starry sky, where a powerful being, Xiaotian Shungjun, resided. He glanced at Lin Moyu, who understood Hao Shungjun's meaning, proceed according to the plan. Hao Shungjun nodded slightly, his figure suddenly blurring and disappearing into the starry sky. He plunged into the deepest part of the starry sky, heading towards Xiaotian Shungjun. The previous battles were like appetizers, and the Three Silver Clan's forces finally erupted with powerful auras, as the other Shore Realm experts of the Three Silver Clan made their move. The other Shore Realm experts from both sides quickly found their respective opponents, and the starry sky was instantly shattered to pieces. The God Venerables stayed away from the other Shore Realm battlefield, as it was beyond their reach, and even the aftershocks were giving them headaches. Battle formations appeared one after another, as the God Venerables of the Three Silver Clan formed battle formations and charged out. Here, the human race only deployed 500 God Venerables, far fewer in number than the Three Silver Clan. However, these 500 God Venerables were all peak God Venerables, with immense strength, each capable of fighting 10 ordinary God Venerable of the 9th order. They compensated for quantity with quality. The God Venerables of the Three Silver Clan formed battle formations to fight against them. The battle was extremely fierce, and Lin Moyu released tens of millions of skeletal god generals, joining the battle. At the same time, he sensed the other skeletal god generals in other locations. At this moment, not only had the battle begun here, but the slaughter in other places had also unfolded. The Three Silver Clan was in complete chaos, as the skeletal god generals were carrying out massacres on star systems. Countless Three Silver Clan people died under the swords of the skeletal god generals. Lin Moyu's expression was indifferent, without the slightest pity. In the struggle between races, showing mercy to the enemy is being cruel to your own people. If you let one go, countless members of your race might die at the hands of the enemy. Hatred accumulates, and both sides have accumulated unimaginable hatred over countless years. Everyone wants to put the other to death. However, the skeletal god generals did not destroy the star systems, as Lin Moyu ordered them to preserve the integrity of the star systems as much as possible. Only then would other races be interested in occupying the territory. Otherwise, what use is a star system that has been completely destroyed? Their plan would not be realized. The skeletal god generals also did not kill all the Three Silver Clan people, they mostly killed the strong ones. Those above the God King realm were basically not spared. This is what Lin Moyu meant by killing half and leaving half. Kill the strong half and leave the weak half. A strong shockwave came from the depths of the starry sky, as Hao Shungjun had engaged with Xiaotian Shungjun, and the two Saint Venerables were engaged in a life-and-death battle, the intensity of which was extremely terrifying. Lin Moyu had confidence in Hao Shungjun, as, being a Saint Venerable, Hao Shungjun's strength was definitely among the best. Even if the Void Realm rules were not good at slaughter, its ability to trap and lock enemies was unparalleled. At the other end of the starry sky, there were also intense battle auras. Tian Shungjun's team had also engaged with the Three Silver Clan people. Those were not the spirit-devouring clan, but pure 3 Silver Clan people, so the battle must be equally fierce. The original plan was not to let either side go, and the Saint Venerables on both sides had to die. There are 2 Saint Venerables in the 3 Silver Clan, Xiaotian Shungjun of the Silver Dog Clan, and Devouring Sky Saint Venerable of the Silver Snake Clan. In addition, there are 8 other Shore. We have some advantages in strength, so there shouldn't be any problems. Lin Moyu thought about the entire plan, feeling that there were no major issues and that it should proceed smoothly. Suddenly, a warning sounded in his heart. The space around Lin Moyu fluctuated, and a silver serpent suddenly appeared, opening its mouth to bite at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu did not panic at all, his entire body shining with purple gold light, and he punched out at the silver serpent. Chapter 1913. Skeleton Hell, Testing Spells. Go to Hell. A roar echoed in Lin Moyu's soul, the roar shaking the soul, causing waves, and hitting the soul world. The purple jade wall of the soul world blocked all the impact. If it were an ordinary god venerable, they might be affected and temporarily lose their minds. But for Lin Moyu, this level of soul impact could be completely ignored. The silver giant snake belonged to the silver snake lineage of the 3 Silver Clan, with a god venerable 7th order realm, and was a high-level god venerable. It discovered Lin Moyu and launched a sneak attack on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was too special, he was in the middle of the battlefield, but he did not move, and seemed more like a spectator. His own aura was only at the god venerable 1st order, which was at the bottom of the battlefield. If the opponent was smart enough, they might think about whether Lin Moyu, such a special existence, would be dangerous. But the 3 Silver Clan god venerable in front of him was not so smart, perhaps he was blinded by the killing, and directly attacked Lin Moyu when he saw him. His eyes were fierce, red and red. The purple gold fist hit his sharp fangs. There was no scene of fangs crushing the fist as imagined, the 2 sides collided with a bang, and the silver snake god venerable screamed and quickly flew back. Lin Moyu's fist was unscathed, but there were fine cracks on his fangs. This is impossible, the silver snake god venerable screamed. Lin Moyu smiled, nothing is impossible. Saying that, he pointed his finger, and the starry sky was like a volcanic eruption, with undead flames gushing out. A huge throne appeared, and the Skeleton King slowly got up from the throne. The Skeleton King exuded the aura of a god venerable 9th order, firmly locking on the silver snake god venerable. The silver snake god venerable's scales stood on end, screaming sharply, "No, you are not a god venerable 1st order, you are not." The only answer was the Skeleton King's sword. God-slaying sword. The sword light lit up, and the silver snake god venerable's scream suddenly stopped. His body was torn apart in the sword light, and his soul was shattered together. His eyes were full of fear before he died, and also a desire for life. He was already a god venerable, and he could live for a long time, he didn't want to die. But it was useless, his life had come to an end, and his consciousness was rapidly falling into darkness. A grey light flashed and landed, and at the moment of his death, the skeleton hell appeared and enveloped him. Hellfire was boiling, and countless hellish fiends were roaring. After the god venerable realm, the skeleton hell sublimated into a white star level, undergoing a qualitative change. The former hell slaves were gone, and all the hell slaves had become hellish fiends. The white star level skeleton hell seemed to have truly opened the gates of hell, releasing the truly terrifying fiends from hell. The hell slaves of the past had become the nourishment for the hellish fiends. Now the skeleton hell enveloped the silver snake god venerable, and in the hellfire, countless fiends roared out, directly dividing and devouring him, leaving not even a bone slag. Lin Moyu watched this scene, his eyes flashing. The hellish fiends seem to be around the god venerable 5th order, it seems that they still need a lot of feeding to make them stronger. I 1/2 Since this is the case, then I will feed you well, and see how far you can grow. Lin Moyu stopped watching the show, but took the initiative to find opponents. A battle formation was targeted by him. This battle formation was composed of 100 god venerables. Most of the 100 god venerables were low-level god venerables, and the strongest was only god venerable 5th order. After forming a battle formation, they could probably exert the combat power of a high-level god venerable. The 3 Silver Clan formed such battle formations to barely entangle with the peak god venerables of the human race. However, the gap between god venerables was too large, especially since all the god venerables dispatched by the human race this time were peak god venerables. Their combat power was so strong that ordinary god venerables could not compare. Even if they can entangle for a while, they will still lose in the long run. Undead flames burned again, and a second skeleton throne appeared in the starry sky, followed by a second skeleton king. The skeleton king gathers the power of the skeleton god generals, and can gather the combat power of up to 100 million skeleton god generals. Lin Moyu has 500 million skeleton god generals, and he can summon 5 skeleton kings of this divine venerable rank 9 at the same time. In the undead flames, the second and third skeleton kings appeared together. The god-slaying sword was raised, the sword light exploded, and a battle formation was instantly smashed. The battle formation collapsed, and the divine venerables inside suffered heavy casualties. The bone hell then emerged, enveloping these divine venerables. Hellfire spewed out, covering the entire hellish world, and countless hellish fiends flew out of the flames, launching fierce attacks on the divine venerables. What is this? Get out now, bastard, what the hell is this? Ah, these guys are attacking the soul, everyone be careful. The hellish fiends don't have any laws, and their attack methods are also very simple, just rushing up and tearing. But their attacks are very strange, not law attacks, nor physical attacks. Every bite they take on a divine venerable can tear off a large piece of flesh. Not only is the flesh bitten off, but even a large piece of the soul is bitten off. Lin Moyu watched in his eyes. Hellish fiends do not attack the physical body, they truly attack the soul. Every bite they seem to take on the flesh is actually biting the soul, and then the soul feeds back to the flesh. Moreover, they have extremely high immunity to the laws, are not afraid of injury, and have no pain. As expected of fiends, they are indeed terrifying. As the master of the bone hell, Lin Moyu quickly figured out the attack method of the hellish fiends. The hellish fiends directly cause damage to the soul, and the flesh bitten off from the soul will be synchronously reflected on the physical body. It looks like they are bitten to pieces, but the soul is the one truly injured. Under the shroud of the bone hell, countless divine venerables were bleeding and screaming. Blood flowed all over the ground, gathering into a river. Lin Moyu saw a river really appearing in the bone hell, with raging flames burning in the river, forming a river of fire. It should be said that this river has always existed, but the blood of the divine venerables activated it, turning it into a hellfire river. The bone hell appears more and more real, more and more like a real hell. The fiends seem to be infected by the flames, and become more and more ferocious and terrifying. The roars in hell echoed in the starry sky, accompanied by the screams of the divine venerables, which were terrifying. Compared to the battles elsewhere, the scene on Lin Moyu's side was even more terrifying. A powerful aura rushed towards him, and Lin Moyu felt that he was being targeted again. Several battle formations were rushing towards him from all directions. Diaresis a good, I'll use you as experimental subjects. Lin Moyu chuckled, and pointed his finger towards the void above him. Another cluster of undead flames burned fiercely, and the entire starry sky instantly turned gray, as if the world had been changed. White star level spell, undead gaze. A single eye over 10 million meters appeared in the flames. This eye was extremely indifferent, without emotion, and gray flames were also burning in the eye, making people's hearts palpitate with just one glance. The undead gaze swept over, and ripples rippled in the starry sky. A terrifying soul attack descended, and a battle formation collapsed on the spot. The divine venerables in the battle formation screamed incessantly, their souls were injured, and this kind of pain was difficult for even divine venerables to bear. The effect is good, try this. Lin Moyu reached out and pointed again. White star level spell, curse of time. Red light spread, and red pointed knives appeared above the heads of 100 divine venerables in a battle formation at the same time. The battlefield collapsed on the spot, and the power of the curse directly damaged the soul, making it impossible to maintain the battle formation. Then time suddenly accelerated, and all curse damage concentrated and erupted at 1,000 times the speed. One scream after another, the divine venerables of the Three Silver Clan shrank into a ball in the starry sky, trembling in pain. Chapter 1914. My human race also has the law of space. Bone hell, undead gaze, curse of time. Although the 3 spells are different, without exception, they are all spells that attack the soul. Lin Moyu's eyes were filled with thought, if the 3 spells are combined and used together, perhaps the effect will be better. As soon as he thought of it, he did it. Lin Moyu locked onto the nearest battle formation. The bone hell instantly expanded, enveloping the battle formation. The undead gaze also looked over. At the same time, Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and the curse of time was activated. With 3 spells working together, the battle formation collapsed on the spot without any surprise. The divine venerables inside were screaming and surrounded by hellish fiends. Then the red light flickered, and the divine venerables had no power to resist, and half of them died on the spot. Then the curse accelerated, and the divine venerables fell into a trance, completely losing their power to resist. The effect is good. It seems that only those above divine venerable rank 5 can resist slightly. Divine venerable rank 4 can't last long. As for those below rank 4, they will almost be instantly killed. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the power of the spell, although in front of the undead legion, these divine venerables were originally not enough to see. Once the skeleton god generals made a move, they could only wait for death. But that was different. Now the bone hell is only a prototype, and the hellish fiends inside still need to be fed a lot before they can truly grow up. The undead gaze has terrifying group attack ability. With one sweep, it can kill countless enemies. Almost the vast majority of defensive laws are ineffective against the undead gaze. As for the curse of time, it is now only a curse, but Lin Moyu has greater ambitions for the curse of time. The most crucial thing is that soul attacks can interrupt the enemy's actions. It has a very strong effect on grasping the battle situation. The bone hell spread to its maximum, covering tens of millions of miles of starry sky. Those divine venerables who came to besiege Lin Moyu before were all enveloped by the bone hell and were about to become the nourishment for the hellish fiends. The hellfire river flowed, becoming more and more turbulent, and a large amount of divine venerable blood churned in it. Some hellish fiends drank the blood in the fire river, becoming more and more powerful. The battlefield became a bit strange. Everywhere else was fighting lively, but Lin Moyu's side was gloomy and terrifying. Hundreds of divine venerables were lying in the starry sky in various strange poses. They were shrouded in a world that was both virtual and real, waiting for death to descend. Lin Moyu stood in the starry sky, without any action, just like an innocent person. But everyone knew that he was the instigator. No one dared to approach Lin Moyu anymore. Just a glance from afar was enough to know how terrifying this guy Lin Moyu was. 3 skeleton kings and tens of millions of skeleton god generals together, killed into the depths of the 3 silver clan, slaughtering wantonly. Their existence reduced a lot of pressure for the human race divine venerables. Lin Moyu alone was an army, and even more terrifying than an ordinary army. After the bone hell devoured hundreds of divine venerables, Lin Moyu began to look for new targets. His hellish fiends were still clamoring to be fed. After devouring these divine venerables, Lin Moyu could clearly feel that the fiends had become a little stronger. The more they devoured, the stronger the hellish fiends became. However, ordinary divine venerables seemed a bit slow. Even if there were a large number, the effect would not be great. Faced with quantity and quality, Lin Mo chose the latter without hesitation. His gaze turned to the depths of the starry sky, the battlefield of the other shore realm. Lin Mo took a step forward, his entire being instantly disappearing, and in the next second, he appeared in the starry sky millions of miles away. Then, he took another step, crossing millions of miles again. A divine venerable of the human race saw this scene, his pupils suddenly contracting, followed by an expression of disbelief. Space law. Lin Mo emitted a faint wave of law, a very peculiar wave, precisely the space law. More divine venerables discovered this, and each one became excited. Space law, it really is space law. Our human race finally has someone who has comprehended the space law. Junior brother Lin is still amazing, even the space law can be comprehended. No wonder the Saint Venerable values him so much, and the outside world calls him the second god of war. He truly has the qualifications. Divine Venerable First Order, killing high order divine venerables is as easy as chopping vegetables. Lin Mo suddenly using the space law was like a stimulant, and all the human race divine venerables suddenly erupted with even more terrifying combat power. They attacked even more fiercely, and although they were outnumbered, they beat the 3 silver races back steadily. Lin Mo stepped forward, quickly rushing into an even more terrifying battlefield. This was the battlefield of the divine venerables, without battle formations, only peak divine venerables. The strongest of the human race divine venerables were engaged in a great battle with the strongest peak divine venerables of the 3 silver races. Although the momentum was not as great as the other shore realm, it was equally terrifying. Each of their attacks could shatter the galaxy and destroy star systems. Lin Mo was covered in purple gold light, and the powerful defense of the purple gold body allowed him to be safe and sound in the aftermath of the battle of the peak divine venerables. Lin Mo's appearance quickly attracted the attention of others. For a mere divine venerable first order to dare come here was truly audacious. A silver egret divine venerable casually waved its wings towards Lin Mo. Countless silver lights swept towards Lin Mo, it didn't mind casually obliterating Lin Mo. Lin Mo also looked at it, it's you. Undying flames erupted, covering a large area of the star sea. A full 5 skeleton throne appeared from the starry sky, and the 5 skeleton kings rose at the same time. The silver light landed on Lin Mo, and the purple gold body erupted with brilliant light, blocking all attacks for Lin Mo, who was unscathed. After the attack, the purple gold light dimmed a lot. After all, it was an attack from a peak divine venerable, even if it was just a casual blow, it was not so easy to block. If it happened again, the purple gold body would inevitably collapse. Seeing Lin Mo unscathed, the silver egret race divine venerable revealed an expression of disbelief. How could a mere divine venerable first order block his attack? What exactly was this purple gold light? It seemed that he had never seen it or heard of it. But Lin Mo would not give him the chance. With a thought, the bone hell instantly enveloped him. Countless hellish fiends rushed towards him, biting him piece by piece. The soul of a peak divine venerable was powerful, reaching the peak of the 4th grade, and it was even possible for the jade soul to produce purple. Soul defenses were not comparable to those of 3rd and 4th order divine venerables. When the fiends bit down, there was no scene of torn skin and flesh. But being attacked by the soul was not easy. The silver egret divine venerable roared, "What the hell is this?" He waved the law, containing the power of rules, instantly shattering a large number of fiends. The fiends would not die, and would soon recondense. This was a terrifying object from hell, and if hell did not perish, they would not die. Lin Mo had long known that hellish fiends could not do anything to peak divine venerables, all he wanted was a mark. As soon as the silver egret divine venerable attacked, the bone hell completed the mark, and Lin Mo instantly locked onto him. The 5 skeleton kings swung their swords at the same time. God-slaying sword. A bright light enveloped the silver egret divine venerable's entire body, and the silver egret divine venerable let out a shocking scream in the sword light. Its wings were broken, countless wounds burst out on its body, and blood flowed straight down. All of this blood merged into the bone hell, making the hellfire river even more blazing. The silver egret divine venerable turned around in terror and tried to escape. "You can't escape." Lin Mo pointed his finger, and a red light instantly lit up. The silver egret divine venerable suddenly slowed down, he was cursed, and all his functions were regressing wildly. Then the curse accelerated and erupted, and he let out a shocking scream. At this time, the human race divine venerable seized the opportunity, a sharp sword flew out, the sharp sword instantly became larger, and swept across the silver egret divine venerable's body. The silver egret divine venerable's body broke apart with a bang, and the soul was also cut off. More hellish fiends rushed up. Chapter 1915 Purple Light Silver Snake, Giant Beasts of the Other Shore Realm. The human race divine venerable laughed loudly, "Well done. Junior brother Lin's combat power, senior brother truly admires." He praised Lin Mo without any concealment. He had been entangled with the silver egret divine venerable for a long time, but he didn't expect that with Lin Mo's joining, he would solve his opponent in a few moves. Lin Mo's several spells were indeed powerful to the extreme. 5 skeleton kings, each 10,000 meters tall, could directly slash the opponent into serious injuries. Lin Mo said, "Thank you, senior brother, go and support the other senior brothers." "Okay, junior brother Lin, be careful." He was very happy, and after saying that, he flew towards the nearest battlefield. In the bone hell, hellish fiends were still devouring the silver egret divine venerable, leaving only a few feathers. Lin Mo had deliberately left a few feathers to use as materials for the corpse to explode. A dignified peak divine venerable, even after death, was still being used by Lin Mo, which had to be said to be a kind of sadness. Lin Mo took a step, the space law activated, and along with the spatial surge, Lin Mo appeared millions of miles away, right on a battlefield. 2 divine venerables were in a great battle, and the 3 silver race divine venerable dismissed Lin Mo's arrival. He could easily destroy a divine venerable first order, and it was impossible for him to have any impact on either side. However, a look of joy flashed in the eyes of the human race divine venerable. He knew some of Lin Mo's details, and knew that Lin Mo's combat power was actually very powerful. Lin Mo instantly broke into the battlefield, pointed his finger, and the bone hell directly activated, enveloping the entire battlefield. Hellish fiends poured out madly, rushing towards the three silver race divine venerable. After experimenting with several spells, Lin Mo chose a simpler and faster way to fight. The three silver clan divine venerables instinctively fought back, allowing Lin Mo to successfully mark them. Then, several feathers in his hand turned to ashes. White star level spell, corpse explosion. With a loud bang, the three silver clan divine venerables who were in the midst of a great battle screamed, blood spurting out, their bodies almost blown apart. They didn't die, their strength is really not weak. Bearing an attack equivalent to a self-detonation from a divine venerable of the same realm, only being seriously injured and not killed on the spot is enough to prove his strength. But that's not important. If one explosion doesn't kill, then explode twice. Or he could let the Skeleton King finish the job. There are many ways to kill it. The three silver clan divine venerables were extremely terrified. 1 second they had the upper hand, and the next second they were on the verge of death. He quickly took out a silver token. The silver token activated, instantly forming a silver giant dog. This silver giant dog had 2 heads, one head emitting scarlet flames, and the other emitting blue cold air, both looking very ferocious. Seeing this, the human race divine venerable hurriedly shouted, "Be careful, this is the ice and fire twin-headed dog, once a saint venerable of the silver dog clan." Lin Mo understood that this token should have sealed the power of a saint venerable. However, the ice and fire twin-headed dog had already fallen tens of thousands of years ago. What's in the token should only be its will, not its soul. Without a soul, it can only reach the other shore realm at most, and it can't be maintained for too long. Lin Mo didn't panic at all. "Senior, please retreat first, leave this to me." As he spoke, a skeleton appeared in his hand. It was also a skeleton of a peak divine venerable, Lin Mo's former stock. He still had several copies of such stock. Although he had many ways to kill the opponent, using corpse explosion was simpler. Before he could react, the skeleton turned to ashes. With a loud bang, this peak divine venerable of the three silver clan was completely blown into pieces. The hell ferocious spirit pounced out to devour it. The ice and fire twin-headed dog had already formed. It seemed to have inherited the will of the deceased. Its eyes locked on Lin Mo. Lin Mo chuckled and flicked out undying flames. The 5 skeleton kings emerged in response, blocking in front of him. Immediately afterwards, countless skeleton divine generals flew out, fighting alongside the skeleton kings. To deal with the power left behind by this saint venerable, there was no need to confront it head-on, just exhaust its power. After sending out the skeleton kings and the army of tens of millions of skeleton divine generals, Lin Mo stopped managing it. Seeking fresh flowers 0 If you want to kill me, break through the undead army's blockade first. The ice and fire twin-headed dog was surrounded by the undead legion. It desperately broke through and fought fiercely, but facing the skeleton kings, it was always unable to succeed. Golden light flashed in the starry sky. The golden armor talisman brought amazing defensive power to the undead legion. The entire legion became an indestructible shield. If a real other shore realm arrived, it might be able to break through. But now it's just a few strands of power left behind by the Saint Venerable. It's simply impossible. Senior brother, go support elsewhere. Lin Mo looked at the human race divine venerable who had just recovered and said loudly. The human race divine venerable was stunned for a moment, then nodded, okay. He turned and flew towards the nearest battlefield. Suddenly Lin Mo's expression changed, and he shouted, come back. In his voice, Lin Mo had already taken a step and instantly caught up. The golden sword appeared in his hand at the same time. 0, 0, boom. Golden light exploded. The golden sword intertwined into a golden shield, protecting the two behind it. In front of the golden sword, a giant snake appeared. The giant snake was shimmering with silver light, and within the silver light were countless purple spots. At first glance, it looked like a member of the Three Silver Clan, but it wasn't. This was a starry sky beast of the other shore realm. The Divine Venerable explained in a low voice, this is the purple light silver snake, a starry sky beast raised by the silver snake lineage of the Three Silver Clan. But there are not many purple light silver snakes, and even fewer that reach the other shore realm. Lin Mo didn't pursue the root of the problem, it was meaningless. The current situation was that he had to face a starry sky beast of the other shore realm. The purple light silver snake spat out a purple beam from its mouth, hitting the golden shield. The golden shield rumbled continuously. Lin Mo and the Divine Venerable were knocked back continuously. Lin Mo said in a low voice, Senior brother, you go first, leave this thing to me to deal with. The Divine Venerable looked at Lin Mo with a complex expression. Junior brother Lin, you should go first, I'll hold it back. Lin Mo chuckled, what I mean is, I want to try to kill it. Ah, he knew that Lin Mo's combat power was very strong, a Divine Venerable of the first level could fight against a peak Divine Venerable. But to say that a Divine Venerable could kill another shore realm, it was a bit unbelievable. Lin Mo continued to explain, I have treasures given by the Saint Venerable, even if I can't kill it, I can protect myself without worry. Senior brother, go support elsewhere, don't worry about me. Listening to Lin Mo's explanation, he finally made a decision and said in a low voice, my name is Xu Shenyu, I will thank junior brother Lin again if I have the opportunity in the future. 1916th chapter. A dignified other shore realm, actually escaped. Xu Shenyu, the divine of the Xu family. He listened to Lin Mo's words and went to support elsewhere. Lin Mo looked at the purple light silver snake, next, let's have some fun. I wonder if the hell ferocious spirit can become stronger after eating you. Lin Mo didn't take the purple light silver snake seriously, he had killed other shore realm before. The abyss dragon demon, a wounded other shore realm, didn't count, and the future Buddha, an other shore realm that had fallen from the Saint Venerable, was still stronger than an ordinary other shore realm. What's more, even if he really couldn't beat it, Lin Mo still had a trump card. That broken finger of the past Buddha was enough to blow the purple light silver snake to death. Lin Mo was invincible from the beginning, so what was there to be afraid of? He even had a condescending aura, looking down at the other party, as if he regarded himself as prey. Now Lin Mo's only thought was how to kill this purple light silver snake without paying a great price. The purple light silver snake's attacks were blocked by the golden sword several times, it was a little angry, and also a little strange. Why was this weak guy in front of him not afraid of himself at all, but instead looking at himself like this, as if he regarded himself as prey? It can be tolerated, snake cannot be tolerated. The purple light silver snake's whole body exploded, the purple light was bright, and the huge snake tail whipped over like lightning. Boom! The huge force blew Lin Mo away, the golden shield seemed to have reached its limit, and a lot of cracks appeared. Lin Mo took out the ancient talisman jade piece, and at the same time, 5 drops of myriad colors water flew out. After 7 years, most of the myriad colors water that had been consumed had recovered. With the ancestral water ancient well in hand, Lin Mo didn't feel sorry for the myriad colors water at all. 100,000 portions of belief power burned, and were injected into the ancient talisman jade piece together with the myriad colors water. Soul power poured into it like a river wave, activating the ancient talisman jade piece. A huge fist appeared in the void, under the double blessing of myriad colors water and belief power, the ancient talisman fist successfully reached the other shore realm. The ancient talisman giant fist flew out, firmly locking on the purple light silver snake, producing a huge suction force, dragging the purple light silver snake making it unable to escape. The purple light silver snake spewed out purple light on the giant fist, hitting the giant fist and making it tremble, but the giant fist still did not change its momentum. A river of laws appeared under Lin Mo's feet, the river of laws was gray and white, half death and half life. Other people's rivers of laws were above their heads, the other shore realm was around their bodies, but Lin Mo's was under his feet. As if he was higher than the river of laws, stepping the river of laws under his feet. At this moment, Lin Moyu exuded a noble aura, as if he had become the master of the Law Galaxy, no longer mobilizing the power of the Law Galaxy, but driving it. Mobilizing the Law Galaxy is more about borrowing its power. But driving it is about dispatching and commanding. The meanings of the two are completely different. In this aspect alone, Lin Moyu has surpassed all divine sovereigns. Even in ancient times, there were not many existences like Lin Moyu. The Law Galaxy appeared in an instant, with the violet light silver serpent flicking its tail, colliding with the ancient rune giant fist. The starry sky shook violently, space shattered abruptly, and the ancient rune giant fist collapsed on the spot. The violet light silver serpent didn't fare much better, it was battered and bruised, its huge tail drooping weakly, with a giant wound on it, from which fresh blood was constantly spurting. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and 99% of the Law Galaxy turned gray, pouring down. The power of death spread in the starry sky, and the violet light silver serpent's wound was contaminated by the power of death, making it difficult to heal. Then, a large amount of the power of death from the Law Galaxy spread towards the violet light silver serpent's body. The violet light silver serpent screamed incessantly, its entire body surged with the power of rules, and a great purple light shone, trying to expel the invading power of death. How could Lin Moyu give it a chance? He took out the remains of a peak divine sovereign, and not just one, but 5. If we're going to explode, let's explode with a bang. With a light tap of his finger, red light filled the air. The curse of time was activated. Although the violet light silver serpent was at the other shore realm, it was still affected to some extent. Its defense was reduced, and the damage it received was also increased. Lin Moyu's body then emitted a peculiar aura. Origin skill: Strengthen troops. With strengthened troops activated, the damage caused by himself and all members of the Undead Legion instantly increased tenfold. For a time, the destructive power of the Undead Legion fighting in the Three Silver Clan greatly increased. 25 drops of myriad-colored water flew out, and at the same time, 100,000 portions of faith power blazed. The myriad-colored water and faith power were divided into 5, simultaneously acting on the 5 sets of remains. White star level skill: Corpse explosion. Lin Moyu tapped his finger 5 times in a row, and the 5 sets of remains turned to ashes at the same time. The violent explosion shattered the already broken starry sky even more. It almost blew out even the deep space, and spatial turbulence howled and raged in the starry sky. Lin Moyu was pushed tens of thousands of kilometers away by the aftershock of the explosion, and the purple gold body erupted, blocking the attack for him. The power of the aftershock was too strong. If it were Shu Shenyu, a peak divine sovereign, he would have been slightly injured. In the shattered starry sky, came the violet light silver serpent's screams. The screams were extremely miserable. 5 consecutive explosions, each like a full blow from another shore realm expert. The power was extremely terrifying. A dozen seconds later, the energy of the explosion finally weakened, and the chaotic starry sky gradually recovered. There was no trace of the violet light silver serpent in the starry sky, only a severed tail about 10 meters long remained there. It escaped. Lin Moyu came to the severed tail, feeling a little regretful. The other party actually escaped. A dignified other shore realm starry sky behemoth actually escaped so shamelessly. At this time, the Skull King's sniper battle also came to an end. The strength of the ice-fire twin-headed hound became weaker and weaker. Finally, its 2 heads collided together, and a violent explosion occurred under the collision of ice and fire. The ice-fire twin-headed hound dissipated. The explosion power was not small, killing hundreds of thousands of skeleton divine generals. But the next second, hundreds of thousands of skeleton divine generals collectively resurrected. With undying undead and the new golden armor talisman, the skeleton divine generals had become very difficult to kill. Lin Moyu summoned the skeleton hell, allowing the fierce spirits to devour the severed tail of the violet light silver serpent. At any rate, it was also a severed tail from the other shore realm, which was a great tonic for the hellish fierce spirits. The violet light silver serpent was not dead, and Lin Moyu could not use its severed tail for corpse explosion. Since it was useless to him, it was better to give it to the hellish fierce spirits. Lin Moyu continued to search for the next target. In the great battle between Hao Divine Sovereign and Howling Sky Divine Sovereign, Hao Divine Sovereign had the upper hand. The law of Void Realm, although unable to kill the enemy quickly, it also became extremely difficult for the enemy to escape. Hao Divine Sovereign trapped the opponent in the Void Realm, slowly torturing and killing him. Howling Sky Divine Sovereign's strength was not considered strong among the Divine Sovereigns. There was still a distance from Hao Divine Sovereign, and defeat and death was only a matter of time. On the other side, Heavenly Divine Sovereign's 3.5 battle was extremely smooth. He found Upper Star Serpent Divine Sovereign, and after a great battle between the two sides, Heavenly Divine Sovereign also firmly occupied the upper hand. Star River Divine Sovereign was beaten very aggrieved, and roared, "You first destroy the Buddhist clan, and then come to destroy my 3 Silver clan, aren't you afraid of other races joining forces to retaliate?" Heavenly Divine Sovereign sneered, "They can't even handle the spirit-devouring clan's affairs, how can they have time to care about your life or death?" Star Serpent Divine Sovereign was still unwilling. "If it weren't for that guy Howling Sky being possessed by the spirit-devouring clan, my clan wouldn't be in such a state." Heavenly Divine Sovereign said, "Don't worry, that old dog also has someone to take care of him, you will soon meet in the underworld." Golden light rippled through the Star River. Heavenly Divine Sovereign waved his magic treasure sword, cutting the Star River into countless pieces. Lin Moyu had completely become a free man, supporting everywhere, wherever he was, the 3 Silver Clan Divine Sovereigns would quickly be defeated. In just over a day, this blitzkrieg against the 3 Silver Clan had already entered its final stages. Chapter 1917, He Wants to Kill Me. Using peak Divine Sovereigns as nourishment, this kind of thing can only be done by Lin Moyu. In just over a day, the fierce spirits in the skeleton hell had greatly increased. Their combat power had increased from the 5th rank of Divine Sovereign to the 6th rank of Divine Sovereign. Not only did their combat power increase, but their numbers also increased. Even Lin Moyu, the master, was not very clear about how many fierce spirits were in the skeleton hell. The main reason was that the skeleton hell had not completely taken shape. Whether it was the Hellfire River or the hellish fierce spirits, they were all in their infancy. After using it many times recently, Lin Moyu could roughly judge that the number of hellish fierce spirits was about 1 million. This number was not large, it was pitifully small compared to the Undead Legion. However, Lin Moyu felt that the skeleton hell still had a lot of room for growth, and it would become stronger and stronger as it continued to devour enemies. Even if his realm did not improve, it would continue to become stronger. Currently, its upper limit was still invisible. And the Undead Legion, without a change in its realm, it was difficult to become stronger. So it was still hard to say which was stronger. Lin Moyu had always felt that there were no useless skills in the world, the key was how you used them. He stepped towards the depths of the battlefield, along the spatial rhythm, each step was millions of miles, the speed far exceeded the Divine Sovereign realm. Even the other shore realm, without the help of magic treasures, the speed may not be able to exceed Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu had only comprehended the fur of the law of space, there was still a long way to go before he truly mastered the law of space. Even so, the benefits of the law of space had already been reflected. In the current situation where space was sealed, the teleportation props had lost their effect, but Lin Moyu could still use the law of space to move forward rapidly. A fierce battle aura came from the front, and Lin Moyu felt that the Star River was shattering, and the space had become a mess. The surrounding stars had long been shattered into scum. This was the battlefield of the Divine Sovereigns. Lin Moyu had seen Divine Sovereigns fighting before. But that time it was in the Dark Void, and the special environment of the Dark Void made it difficult to see some situations clearly. This time, Lin Moyu saw clearly. Layers of space were shattered, and how Divine Sovereign and Howling Sky Divine Sovereign had already entered the deep space. In the deep space, colorful turbulence was flying. These energy turbulences themselves were extremely terrible, but they did not cause any harm to the Divine Sovereigns. How Divine Sovereign was covered in the Void Realm, like a black hole, constantly devouring all external forces, forming a powerful defense. At the same time, the Void Realm also turned into its weapon, firmly suppressing Howling Sky Divine Sovereign. Roaring Sky Saint Venerable roared continuously, its silver fur flying in the starry sky, each strand being a terrifying magic weapon. But no matter how it struggled, it was all in vain. Saint Venerable How used absolute strength to beat it into submission. It was already commendable that it could hold on for so long. Lin Mo watched from afar. One of his purposes in coming was to observe the battle of Saint Venerables. Observing the battle of Saint Venerables more often would benefit him. It would allow him to familiarize himself with the rules faster, in preparation for the future. It seems that Roaring Sky Saint Venerable has not yet used the world of rules. This also shows that he has not reached his limit. Saint Venerable How once said that the world of rules is the last trump card of a Saint Venerable. As long as the world of rules has not been used, it means that the Saint Venerable has not reached his true limit. Only when the world of rules appears, it shows that he is going to fight desperately. The arrival of Lin Mo was naturally seen by Saint Venerable How and Roaring Sky Saint Venerable, but the two were fighting fiercely, and neither of them paid attention to Lin Mo. Roaring Sky Saint Venerable was overwhelmed, while Saint Venerable How had no intention to care about other things. After all, they were both Saint Venerables. Even if Roaring Sky Saint Venerable was slightly weaker, it was only a slight difference, and he had to use all his strength to suppress him. At the same time, he had to prevent Roaring Sky Saint Venerable from jumping over the wall and escaping. It was difficult to chase a Saint Venerable who wanted to escape. Suddenly, a strange aura rose, and Lin Mo saw a ball of silver flames. World of Rules. Lin Mo's heart shook. Roaring Sky Saint Venerable's World of Rules had appeared. His World of Rules was a world of silver flames, looking like a star. The silver flames felt like they had no temperature, but they were actually very terrifying. The entire space was shaking the moment it appeared. The turbulence in the deep space was immediately annihilated when it touched it. Saint Venerable Hao also strengthened the void realm and retreated a little distance. But at the same time, he also strengthened the rules of the void realm scattered in all directions to prevent Roaring Sky Saint Venerable from escaping. The appearance of the world of rules showed that Roaring Sky Saint Venerable was going to fight desperately. Lin Mo felt that if he were to be stained with this silver flame, he would lose a layer of skin even if he didn't die. Suddenly, Saint Venerable Hao's face changed drastically, and he shouted angrily, "Run!" Lin Mo turned around and fled without thinking. But before he could move, he felt that the space around him had completely collapsed, and even the laws of space had collapsed along with it. The power of the Saint Venerable's rules crushed all kinds of laws in an unreasonable manner, and even the laws of space were not spared. Lin Mo raised his head and saw Roaring Sky Saint Venerable's world of rules, which had crossed millions of miles to reach above his head at some point. At the same time, he felt Roaring Sky Saint Venerable's killing intent. The Saint Venerable's sharp gaze seemed to want to cut him into pieces. His target is me. Lin Mo's heart was awe-stricken. It was obvious that Roaring Sky Saint Venerable sacrificed the world of rules not to fight desperately, but to kill him. He hates me so much, but I have never met him. Why does he hate me? This look seems familiar. I understand, it's future Buddha, it must be future Buddha. Lin Mo immediately understood why. The spirit-devouring race has a special way of contacting each other. As long as they are willing to consume a large amount of souls, they can contact each other, and no means of sealing is useful. Even Saint Venerable Hao's void realm could not stop them. It must be that future Buddha sensed him and told Roaring Sky Saint Venerable about him. He was the instigator of this catastrophe for the spirit-devouring race, and the hatred was unspeakable. As a member of the spirit-devouring race, Roaring Sky Saint Venerable's hatred for him can be imagined. He would rather die himself than kill him. Lin Mo couldn't help but sigh. He knew he shouldn't have come. But things had already come to this point. He had been locked on, and the world of rules burning with silver flames was smashing towards him like a meteor, unavoidable. Saint Venerable Hao wanted to come over to stop him, but it was too late. It seemed that he had entered a dead end and was bound to die. But it was impossible to sit still and wait for death. The bone hell flashed past, and was smashed to pieces by the world of rules the moment it appeared. However, the bone hell also completed its mission and completed the marking. Then a broken finger appeared in Lin Mo's hand, belonging to past Buddha. 1,000 drops of myriad colors water and 100,000 portions of faith power fell into the broken finger at the same time. Locking onto Roaring Sky Saint Venerable, the broken finger turned into ashes. White star level spell, corpse explosion. Boom! In the midst of the violent roar, dense cracks appeared in the deep space. This was the first time Lin Mo had seen the deep space being blown apart. Countless rays of light shone out from the cracks. This scene seemed a little familiar. Roaring Sky Saint Venerable was blown to pieces. His world of rules also paused suddenly in the explosion, and Lin Mo felt that Roaring Sky Saint Venerable's lock on him seemed to have loosened a little. With the death of Roaring Sky Saint Venerable, his world of rules suddenly became chaotic, constantly expanding, and seemed to explode at any time. Lin Mo seized this trace of slack, and the laws of space were fully operational. At the same time, a faint law of time also fluctuated, and Lin Mo's time accelerated a little. Boom! The world of rules exploded. Chapter 1918 Careless then Chaos, Spatial Turbulence. The explosion of the world of rules was equivalent to a Saint Venerable's self-destruction, and the power was unimaginable. Hundreds of millions of miles of starry sky were blown into dust, and countless silver flames burned in the starry sky, turning the starry sky into a sea of fire. Saint Venerable Hao searched in the silver flames, but did not find Lin Mo's whereabouts. Some of the other Shore Realm experts and some God Venerable were affected by the explosion. Saint Venerable Hao had to temporarily give up looking for Lin Mo and save people first. Other Shore Realm experts and Saint Venerable Hao took action together to save people, saving many God Venerable. However, there were also several God Venerable who were swallowed by the silver flames and burned to death directly. War always leads to death. Even peak God Venerable, when faced with certain accidents, are equally helpless. The sea of fire burned fiercely, emitting a terrifying aura. This sea of fire had become Roaring Sky Saint Venerable's burial place, a dignified Saint Venerable, but in the end, he ended up like this. Saint Venerable Hao's face was very ugly. He did not find Lin Mo. Lin Mo was gone. He used the communication method from the Starry Sky Fish people, but did not receive a response. There were only two possible results. One was that Lin Mo was dead, blown to pieces, and turned into ashes. The second was that Lin Mo was not dead, but his current whereabouts were unknown. Saint Venerable Hao looked at the sea of fire. He did not believe that Lin Mo was dead. A person like Lin Mo, how could he die so easily? A golden light shot from afar, and after a few minutes, the golden light stopped in front of Saint Venerable Hao. The golden light converged, and Heavenly Saint Venerable appeared in front of Saint Venerable Hao. What happened? Heavenly Saint Venerable looked at the sea of fire and realized that something was wrong. Saint Venerable Hao said, "Roaring Sky." Saint Venerable self-destructed the world of rules, and it was aimed at little friend Lin. Tian Shengzhen's expression changed abruptly. "Tell me the details." Hao Shengzhen took out his token and displayed the virtual realm within it. Within the virtual realm, the soul of the future Buddha still existed, though it was much weaker than before. Hao Shengzhen said, "He must have sent a message to Tian Shengzhen, as they believe Lin Mo is the instigator of this incident." Tian Shengzhen then targeted little friend Lin, detonating his world of laws. However, little friend Lin took action in the end, using a technique to blast Tian to death, but little friend Lin is currently missing. After hearing this, Tian Shengzhen's expression also turned grim. If Lin Mo were dead, it would be a great loss to the human race. Not to mention one Tian Shengzhen, even 3 or 4 Tian Shengzhen could not make up for it. Hao Shengzhen said, "I feel that little friend Lin should not be dead. Someone like him will not die easily." Tian Shengzhen looked at the silver sea of fire, seeming to sense something. "Why do I feel the aura of spatial laws?" Hao Shengzhen said, "Little friend Lin's final technique used the water of myriad colors and the power of belief, with immense power, even blasting a crack in the world's barrier." At that time, Tian's world of laws seemed to pause for a moment. Little friend Lin must have found a way to save himself, but the outcome is unknown. Tian Shengzhen suddenly thought of something. He closed his eyes and sensed for a while, a look of joy appearing in his eyes. Little friend Lin is not dead. Hao Shengzhen looked over in confusion, not knowing why Tian Shengzhen was so certain. Tian Shengzhen said, "Little friend Lin's summons are still here." Hao Shengzhen suddenly understood, slapping his forehead, "Why didn't I think of that? As long as the summons are still here, little friend Lin is still alive." Tian Shengzhen laughed, "You're just too worried and confused." Hao Shengzhen smiled wryly. Indeed, worry led to confusion. He had not thought of this. Tian Shengzhen looked at the silver sea of fire. Little friend Lin's technique blasted a crack in the world's barrier, and with Tian's world of laws detonating, the two interacted. "I'm afraid it will trigger a deep spatial turbulence." Little friend Lin may have been caught in the spatial turbulence. Hao Shengzhen had only heard of spatial turbulence, but had never truly experienced it. In the records of the human race, the number of times spatial turbulence has occurred is also very few. Spatial turbulence can be considered one of the most terrible disasters in the great world. If it only occurs on the surface, it can still be dealt with. The holy venerables can use their own laws to fight against it. At most, 1 or 2 star systems will be destroyed. If the spatial turbulence comes from deep space, the power of the spatial turbulence will increase exponentially. The attribute of space is such that the deeper it is, the more terrifying it is. Faced with deep spatial turbulence, even holy venerables like them would lose a layer of skin even if they didn't die. Fortunately, deep spatial turbulence rarely occurs, and it rarely affects the surface space. Currently, there is nothing they can do. Once caught in spatial turbulence, they don't know where Lin Mo will be swept away to. Spatial turbulence has no order, no direction, no distance. And the most important thing is that Lin Mo must be able to withstand the terrifying strangulation force in the spatial turbulence. Currently, they have no way, but as long as Lin Mo's summons are still there, it means that Lin Mo is fine. This is the best news. Hao Shengzhen and Tian Shengzhen returned with the team. This blitzkrieg against the 3 silver clans seemed like a great victory for the human race on the surface. The only 2 remaining holy venerables of the 3 silver clan were killed. 8 of the other shore realm cultivators died, and the other 2 were seriously injured and fled. The divine venerables were the same, with 7 or 8 out of 10 dying. The divine kings were even more so. Under the ravages of billions of skeleton divine generals, countless divine kings of the 3 silver clan also died. After the blitzkrieg, the strength of the 3 silver clan was less than 1/10 of what it was. But they occupy a vast star field with countless resources. As soon as this news spreads, they will become a sweet treat in the eyes of all races. Especially those small clans, who will take advantage of this opportunity to kick them when they are down. In fact, the human race had already spread the news of the Three Silver Clan at the same time as they left. It is conceivable what the Three Silver Clan will face next. Spatial turbulence, the Holy Venerable detonating his world of laws, triggered turbulence in the deep space. Spatial turbulence swept Lin Mo like a storm, rushing towards an unknown place. Lin Mo's whole body was a dazzling purple gold, constantly making sounds like iron being struck. The strangulation force in the spatial turbulence fell on him, causing the purple gold light to tremble continuously. Lin Mo tried his best to stabilize his body, but unfortunately, the spatial turbulence was too powerful, and his efforts were in vain. If it weren't for the purple gold body being strong enough, plus hundreds of millions of undead legions sharing the damage for Lin Mo would have died long ago. No matter how many resurrection opportunities you have, they are useless in the face of continuous spatial strangulation. But fortunately, the purple gold body plus damage transfer, very good, finally saved his life. After the initial chaos, although he still couldn't control his body, his thoughts had become calm. Lin Mo even took this opportunity to begin to comprehend the laws of space. Here, space is chaotic, disordered, causing space to exhibit a terrifying strangulation force. If I can control this strangulation force, its lethality should reach another extreme. If I can adapt to this chaotic and disordered spatial turbulence, perhaps I myself can create this chaos and disorder. Before, I used a trace of the law of time, combined with the law of space, to speed up the flow of time around me. Outsiders can't see anything, but in an instant, I have moved millions of kilometers. Time and space seem to have a trace of fusion, causing a slight disorder in time and space, allowing me to avoid the most fatal impact of the explosion, otherwise the situation might be worse now. Various thoughts churned in his mind, and Lin Mo began to try to adapt to the spatial turbulence. Chapter 1919. Extraterritorial Space, Lost. Tian Shungjun and Hao Shungjun returned to the Divine City, but they still closely monitored the movements of the Three Silver Clan's star field. The news had been released, but the various small clans had not yet taken action. After all, the Three Silver Clan had a strong reputation, and even if they received the news from the human race, they needed to think about whether it was true. This situation was also expected, but before long, they would discover that the news from the human race was all true. When that time came, it would be the end of the Three Silver Clan. News had already come that the Three Silver Clan had begun to save themselves. Their few remaining experts had begun to flee with some of their clansmen, seemingly anticipating what would happen next. After all, only a small number of clansmen could escape. The Three Silver Clan was finished, and it was unknown how many years it would take to recover. Perhaps they would never recover. Fu Shungjun heard about Lin Mo's matter, and his expression also became serious. Little friend Lin's skeletons have disappeared. But the Death Dragon Knight is still there. It should be little friend Lin's active behavior. In this way, he should be fine. Fu Shungjun's Shu family controlled the source of all intelligence and information of the human race. He knew everything that happened on the front lines. Tian Shungjun said, I believe little friend Lin will be fine. We just need to wait patiently for little friend Lin to return. But what do you plan to do with the soul of the future Buddha? His gaze fell on Hao Shungjun 590, not expecting such a thing to happen this time. This shows that the future Buddha can not only communicate with the outside world, but also sense what is happening outside. The virtual realm can trap him, but it cannot hide his senses. Perhaps even the things they have been discussing recently have been known to him. The future Buddha cannot be kept. Hao Shungjun took out the token and said in a low voice, why don't we just kill him, or use him to refine weapons? Old Yan should be able to refine him into a weapon spirit. As he said this, Hao Shungjun stared at the virtual realm and discovered that the soul of the future Buddha trembled slightly. Movement means he can really hear the outside world. At this moment, the future Buddha's soul appeared somewhat weak and listless. After hearing Tian Hao Sage's words, the future Buddha suddenly opened his eyes, and his soul power began to surge. Hao Sage sneered, dream on if you want to self-detonate. The rules of the void realm surged forth, suppressing the future Buddha's soul on the spot. Symbol Sage said, killing him directly would be too wasteful, why not erase his spiritual wisdom and give him to little friend Lin as a gift when he returns? How Sage said, "That's also a good idea, but is it safe to erase his spiritual wisdom? The soul-devouring clan has cultivated the soul path for many years and possesses natural talent. It won't be easy to erase their spiritual wisdom." Symbol Sage smiled, "I have a way." As he spoke, an ancient symbol appeared on his palm. The ancient symbol was not complete but rather a fragmented one. Then, Symbol Sage took out a brush and outlined it, repairing the ancient symbol on the spot. He entered the Tao through symbols and became a sage, making him the human race's most in-depth researcher of ancient symbols. He could repair ancient symbols that were not too complex. While repairing the ancient symbol, he said, "Using this ancient symbol, you can suppress the soul-devouring clan's talent, causing the soul to temporarily slumber. You can do whatever you want with it." As soon as he finished speaking, the ancient symbol had been repaired. The repair was not very complete, and it looked like there were still many missing parts. "What's important is that it can be used and play a role." Symbol Sage said, "This ancient symbol can be considered a tier 2 ancient symbol, one tier lower than the one on your palm." How Sage took the ancient symbol, activated it directly, and sent it into the token. In the void realm world within the token, an ancient rune appeared, accurately landing on the future Buddha's soul. Filled with unwillingness, the future Buddha's soul lost its luster, and its aura became even more listless. He was now a fish in a net, unable to stir up any waves no matter how much he struggled. How Sage didn't hold back and began to erase its spiritual wisdom. How Sage didn't hold back, causing the future Buddha to scream in pain. Heaven Sage and Symbol Sage turned a blind eye. They knew that How Sage was venting his anger because this guy had tipped off Howling Heaven Sage. After Lin Mo woke up, he immediately recalled the Skeleton God General. The existence of the Skeleton God General would affect the human race's subsequent plans, so it had to be recalled. The spatial turbulence gradually weakened after lasting for several days, and Lin Mo finally regained control of his body. Leaving the deep space was like a person who had been diving for several days, gradually surfacing until returning to the surface of the water. Space twisted and fluctuated, and Lin Mo silently appeared in the starry sky. This was an unfamiliar starry sky, without the aura of the human Emperor network. Lin Mo tried to contact the human race, but there was no response. This indicated that he had already left the human race's star field and didn't know where he was. He tried to contact the Death Dragon Knight, but even the connection with the Death Dragon Knight had disappeared. This was something that hadn't happened in many years. He only remembered that when he had just completed his class change, there was a control distance between him and his summons. If the distance was too far, he couldn't control them or sense them. As his strength increased, the distance restriction disappeared, and he never had to worry about distance again. When he reached the God Realm, even if he was in the Three Silver Clan's star field, he could still clearly sense the Death Dragon Knight in the human race's star field. This also meant that even if they were tens of thousands of light years apart, they could still sense each other. This also led Lin Mo to mistakenly believe that there was no distance restriction between him and his summons. But now, the distance restriction had reappeared. Here, he couldn't identify the direction. No matter which direction he chose, it was hard to say whether it was right or wrong. He could choose any direction, possibly getting closer to the human race, or possibly getting further away. Looking at the starry sky, faint starlight shone from a distant place, indicating that he was extremely far from the stars. He remembered that when the spatial turbulence had just occurred, he could still sense the Skeleton God General and had recalled it. The distance at that time wasn't too far, but now. "I'm lost," Lin Mo sighed inwardly. After staying in the cold, dark starry sky for a few seconds, Lin Mo released a Skeleton God General and then flew towards the nearest star. Lin Mo strode forward in the starry sky, each step covering 1.5 million kilometers. Although he had suffered from the spatial turbulence, it wasn't without any gains. Lin Mo had a deeper understanding of the laws of space. Previously, his step was only 1 million kilometers, but now it could reach 1.5 million kilometers. A few short days were better than several years of enlightenment. Whether it's a blessing or a curse, it's sometimes really hard to say. The star gradually magnified in his vision at an extremely slow speed. Lin Mo didn't know how much distance he had traveled, nor did he know how long he had been walking. Time and space seemed to have lost their meaning. Lin Mo also saw for the first time how vast and expansive the outer space was, and at the same time, he experienced the desolation of the outer space. Outer space doesn't only refer to the world outside the human race's star field. It refers to the world outside almost all races. According to records, it's a desolate place. There are stars, but the number is extremely small. Some places are inhabited by starry sky behemoths, and some places are dangerous. Every year, a large number of human race powerhouses enter outer space. Some people return with greatly improved realms, obtaining some powerful magical treasures. Some people return empty-handed, and some people never return. Once upon a time, Lin Mo also thought that one day he would enter outer space to explore. Unexpectedly, this accident caused him to arrive in outer space ahead of time. Chapter 1920. What for origin races, all bullshit. Lin Mo increasingly felt the desolation of outer space. He had crossed an unknown amount of distance without encountering even a single star. The starlight shone over, but apart from the faint light, there was no temperature. The distance was too far, and all the temperature was annihilated by the distance. The star in his vision seemed to have become slightly larger, indicating that the distance between them was gradually shrinking. Lin Mo was very patient, comprehending the laws of space step by step, and approaching the star step by step. He didn't know how long he had been walking, and the star in his vision was finally large enough for him to see clearly. The distance between them was still very far, but he could see clearly because this star was large enough. Goodness gracious, how can it be so big? Lin Mo swore that he had never seen such a huge star. The entire star emitted a dim red light, like a giant entering his twilight years, holding up the last light there. Lin Mo roughly judged that the star's diameter exceeded 1 billion kilometers, comparable to a small galaxy. Lin Mo continued to approach, and the closer he got, the more he could feel its enormity. An ancient aura rushed towards him, carrying the coolness of twilight years. Lin Mo thought in his heart, it has reached the end of its life. This was a natural feeling, without reason, just a pure feeling. Finally, Lin Mo arrived at a place only 10,000 miles away from it. The line of sight was already enveloped in dim red light. Unlike other stars, its flames were not intense. The flames did not erupt, did not jump, they simply flowed like an ocean. Moreover, they did not stir up any waves, they were very calm. This kind of flamme. Lin Mo's eyes narrowed slightly. The sea of fire in front of him was more like fresh blood. It was like fresh blood was burning, somewhat similar to the river of hellfire. Suddenly, flames rose, and a vortex appeared in the sea of fire, and an enormous eye emerged from the vortex. The eye was over 100 million kilometers in diameter, even larger than the eye of undead gaze. Lin Mo was shocked, his entire body shone with purple gold brilliance, and he entered a state of alert. An eye appeared in the star. Lin Mo immediately reacted. The star in front of him was a star giant beast. To be precise, the star had developed intelligence and became a star giant beast. A purple gold body, how nostalgic. A huge voice boomed in his soul. The voice was not aggressive, it was simply heavy and deafening. The deafening voice also contained a sense of vicissitudes, which was not unpleasant. The star's voice came again. Little guy, don't be afraid, I am a star that has developed intelligence, but I have lived a little longer, and I am not a threat to you. The other party actually revealed the purple gold body in one go, and Lin Mo couldn't help but guess the other party's identity, and at the same time saluted, Junior Human Race Lin Mo, greetings Senior. The enormous eye blinked, no need to be so polite, you can call me Red Star, it's rare to see a human race in my twilight years. Little guy, let me ask you, is the human race doing well now? Lin Mo said, thank you for your concern, Senior, the human race is doing well. Red Star seemed to breathe a sigh of relief when he heard this answer. It's good that they are well. Back then when the Black Blood Great World invaded, all the worlds took the opportunity to rebel, but in the end, they still survived. Lin Mo's heart trembled wildly. The Star Senior in front of him was actually talking about things from the ancient times. And he had just answered the situation of the human race in the past 100,000 years. Lin Mo asked, Red Star Senior, have you existed since ancient times? A trace of nostalgia appeared in the red eye. Ancient times, is that what you call it? It seems that I have been sleeping intermittently for many years. Little guy, can you tell me how many years have passed since the invasion of the Black Blood Great World? Lin Mo said, the specific year is no longer remembered, but we call that era ancient, probably about 2 million years from now. The giant eye blinked twice again, and Red Star sighed, 2 million years, it's indeed not short. But the Great World is still there, and the human race is still there, what does it matter if the time is long or short? Little guy, how many supreme existences are there in the human race now? How many heavenly venerates has a Tao venerate been born? How many supreme existences, how many heavenly venerates has a Tao venerate been born? 3 questions in a row completely stunned Lin Mo. Lin Mo finally knew that supreme was not the highest, above it there were heavenly venerates, and above that there were Tao venerates. Supreme was already ridiculously strong, heavenly venerate must be even stronger than Tao venerate. I'm afraid it's strong to the point of being unimaginable. Lin Mo said. No. No, Red Star asked in doubt. Lin Mo nodded. Currently, the strongest in the human race is only supreme, and there are no more supreme existences in the entire great world. Junior once saw a supreme existence. He said that the God Road has been broken, and before the God Road is rebuilt, the great world can no longer give birth to supreme existences. As for the heavenly Tao and Tao venerate that Senior mentioned, they are even unheard of. AAA0 asking for fresh flowers. Red Star's giant eye narrowed slightly. Little guy, step back a little, let me take a look. Lin Mo immediately retreated, stopping only after retreating hundreds of millions of kilometers. Red Star suddenly burst into strong light, the sea of fire churned, dyeing a large area of the starry sky red. The giant eye shot out a red line, shooting towards the distant starry sky. After a while, the flames disappeared, and everything returned to normal. Red Star sighed. The God Road is really broken, no wonder there are no supreme existences. Only holy venerables can see the God Road. Obviously, this Red Star Senior, his realm is at least holy venerable, or even possibly reached supreme. If it is supreme, then it is probably the strongest in the world. Lin Mo said. Junior once encountered Blackstone Supreme. Blackstone Supreme entrusted Junior to rebuild the God Road before his death. 0. Red Star chuckled. Rebuilding the God Road, how difficult. Lin Mo said. No matter how difficult it is, we must do it. If the Black Blood Great World invades again, and we have no supreme existences, we will not be able to resist. To this day, the Black Blood Great World is still eyeing the Great World. If one day, they invade again, the Great World will be in danger. The Great World needs supreme existences, and the human race also needs supreme existences. Red Star said. The Black Blood Great World may not have had it easy in that battle. The strength of our Great World was even a bit stronger than the Black Blood Great World. If it weren't for the rebellion of the various worlds, the final result should have been our Great World counter-attacking the Black Blood Great World and incorporating the Black Blood Great World under our command. Red Star spoke with confidence, even with a bit of longing. It can be seen how strong the Great World was in ancient times. Not only could it rule the various worlds, even if it was as strong as the Black Blood Great World, it could also turn from defense to offense. Lin Mo didn't know what happened in ancient times, so he didn't say anything. At this time, Red Star continued. Little guy, I just saw some messy auras. It seems that the Great World is a bit chaotic. It seems that besides the human race, there are some messy things. Red Star has lived from ancient times to the present, and I don't know why it has been wandering outside the territory. Most of the time it is also in a deep sleep, and it is not clear about what has happened in recent years. Lin Mo roughly talked about the events of the past 100,000 years. In fact, he only knew so much, all of which were well-known things. After hearing this, Red Star's anger rose, and a substantive anger, accompanied by flames, burst out in the starry sky. What 4 great source races, what demon race, are all bullshit.